James H. Reeve phone in.
The word cool. In media speak, it's quite an elastic word. Why cool? Why, oh why?
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
I want to know, where does Neck of the Woods come from? And also, my grandma used to say the price of fish.
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Rule of thumb. Apparently, it's in the days when gentlemen could beat their wives with a stick, but the stick must be no thicker than the gentleman's thumb.
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Hysteron, proteron. Now, am I right that such a term exists?
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Yes, hello. Those are some of the more sensible, indeed more sane enquiries that we've received over the course of the month that we've been presenting for your listening pleasure. Regularly, that's a hillbilly word, isn't it? I realise now. Our regular Monday, oh dear. Second night back and it's just not showing any return on that fortnight's rest and recuperation, is it? Anyway, yes, so over the many months that we've been presenting to you on a regular basis on a Monday evening, our feature evening entitled Queries and Theories. Still haven't come up with anything better, but it sort of tells the story, really. Now, at this stage, I would begin, as a rule, by just cantering through some of the fascinating questions which were posed and some of the intriguing and, who knows, possibly correct answers which were offered. However, since that was fortnight ago, since we last did it, and the computer's full, and when it's full, it bins everything, I'm unable to do that, because I didn't make a note of them before I went on holiday, so we'll have to start from scratch. But you know the sort of thing. If you listen on a regular basis, it's customs, sayings, facts of all descriptions that you never quite understood the reason for or the meaning of, which, bad grammar, but never mind, I'll gloss over it, I don't think anybody noticed. Right? You notify us about them, and if I don't know, I'm fairly certain that there are two possibilities then. One, someone in Key 103 land, out there in radio land, as people really should know better often say, and that means the whole world, somebody there will know, or failing that, there will be someone who's round the bend, and they may very well have a theory which will be nothing like won't fit the facts at all, but mildly amusing to listen to. So, it sounds all right, doesn't it, eh? It's better than a lot of things that you might be contemplating doing, huh? Like fixing the draft excluder. Because, I'll tell you for why. In the summer, the last thing on your mind is the draft excluder, because you don't need it. And then when winter comes, you think, oh, it's drafty in here, it's drafty in this lobby. And then you think, well, I can't fix it, because it means having the door open, and I might have to take it off its hinges, and so I'll just stick a tea towel under it, and I'll do it next summer. And so, Grasshopper, the great cycle is repeated endlessly. That's what happens. Anyway, the point is this. 0161 288 0103 is the repository for your queries and may very well prove to be the source of the theories which explain them to your satisfaction. Anything you like. 0161 288 0103. We have got, well, people are deliberately suggesting that we do, that we are in the habit of doing, in order to avoid the subjunctive, whole night on famous people from Wigan, or things you don't really need to know about James Bond films. Well, no, that's not the idea at all. Those sometimes do crop up. I sometimes find, very much against my will, a theme is developing. Well, if that happens, then there's not much I can do about it. But that's not the object of the exercise. The aim is that the questions, be they on history, science, speech, architecture, joinery, composting. No, I've reached myself there. But, you know, anything like that, put the question to us, and we might be able to provide the answer. If I can't, I'm sure somebody can. There's a bit of stuff here. I'll tell you what we've got. There is actually a lot of Wigan, Rochdale, and Salford and Manchester in it tonight, so far. But you can change that, and if you take my advice, do. Nikki in Didsbury sent us this email. When did she do this? Just after dinner time today. What's the matter with people? I mean, I don't... 1988. How old is she then? 18. Yeah. So, if you've gone without knowing it for this long, another couple of hours won't make much difference. She says that the term octo, usually refers to the number 8, as in octagon, octopus, etc. If it means 8, why is October the 10th month? Ah, right.
Stupid.
No, it's not stupid. October, the 8th month, November the 9th month, December, the 10th month. And yet, there are 12 months. So what's going on there? Well, the reason being that there used to be 10, but they stuck in another couple in the middle. I think August, because they worked out it didn't fit, did it?
Really?
Yeah. So they named August after Augustus Caesar, and I think July after Julius Caesar, and stuck them in. All the others are named after gods, you see. So the year went from 10 months to 12 months, but they left those last 3, meaning 8, 9 and 10 on the end. They are, you see. Did that without no visible means of support. That's the type of thing. It just gives you a rough idea of the sort of thing that we tackle. 0161 288 0103. You have my massive brain, my almost infinite knowledge at your disposal. I don't think something can be almost infinite, can it, really? It's contradiction in terms, that. But anyway, I'm very large, and failing that, then some of the hillmans in Key 103 territory can pick up the crumbs. You know what I mean? It saves me a job. 0161 288 0103. If you want to contact us via the website, then that makes very exciting radio, because I read things out. Then it's key103.co.uk, key103.co.uk, and there you'll find the James H. Reeve phone-in page, which contains many amusing and poignant observations on life, and some pictures and that. So it's a bonus for you there. And we also do offer this texting facility, which personally I can't stand, and that's 63103. Yes, it's the lazy, shiftless, greedy, self-centred person's way of communicating with your favourite radio station, Key 103. We're going to start off with a hillman in, lovely Clifton, hard by, Pilkington Tiles Factory Shop. That's one of the local beauty spots. We're off there in a second. 0161 288 0103. Oh, that reminds me. I must put Jackie over my knee later, because not that I wanted to hear the news, but she didn't mention the test match result, which cause she's a girl, you see, and doesn't know about these things. Anyway, we'll be speaking to her about that later. 0161 288 0103. We'll put you live on stage on Queries and Theories with James H. Reeve on Key 103. There is no need. That's the second time in 24 hours that she's made that gesture, and it was bad enough when it was about a valuable customer. But this time, it's personal. 0161 288 0103, and we'll kick off in Clifton in a mo.
The £25,000 triple play. £25,000. 3 songs. 1 winner. Emma in Stockport. Hi, Emma.
Please tell me I'm caller 25.
Caller 25? You're £25,000 richer.
I love Key 103. They are absolutely fantastic. The best station I've ever heard of in my life.
Listen to Toolin in the morning, tomorrow from 8 a.m. for more chances to win.
Manchester's #1 hit music station, Key 103.
This is the Stories self-titled album. Wonderful songs and instinctively beautiful harmonies. An incredibly accomplished debut album. Includes the singles Be By Your Side and Cinnamon. A band with live performances not to be missed. Catch the Stories on the road with Elton John this summer. The Stories album is a perfectly polished gem. It's out now.
When Mum was out, he gave me beer and showed me videos.
then do stuff to me. He said there'd be big trouble if I told anybody. I was dead scared to tell anyone, but one day I plucked up the courage. It was tough, but it's worse if you don't tell someone. If it's happened to you, when you're ready, visit the NSPCC website, don'thideit.com, or call Childline on 0800 1111. Remember, if you've been sexually abused, you don't have to hide it anymore.
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Whoops, not quite ready. Right, there isn't really somebody called Headley Steadley Smythe. That's a made-up name from, and Brinnington-on-Sea, that confirms it. But thank you. You raised an interesting point there about, no, you're taking the mickey. Right, Sue in Clifton, you're not that way inclined, are you?
Absolutely not.
No,
but we do overlook the country park.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yes.
Which bit of Clifton?
It's nice to speak to you again.
I'm sure it is. Which bit of Clifton? Come on, give us a clue.
We've spoken a lot before, near St Anne's Church.
Right, near the cricket club?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Good, right. How can we help you, Sue?
Well, I've been thinking about this one all day, and when you started the programme, it came straight to my mind. Where does the phrase all gone pear-shaped come from?
I don't know. It might be one of these where somebody just made it up one day and it spread. Or, I don't know whether it's a pottery expression. You know, you've seen that film, haven't you? Yeah, what?
The kiln.
No, when it's on the, on the wheel. You know, when they're playing Unchained Melody?
Yeah.
Yeah. And instead of it being like a cylinder, it all goes outwards at the bottom.
Or it could be that the bottom is wider than the top.
The what?
The bottom of the pear is wider than the top of the pear.
Yeah, I'm struggling here, but yeah, I mean, gone pear-shaped rather than, a lovely cylindrical shape, which it was meant to be. Or it may, and I don't know whether this has happened to you, Sue, but they do say that some ladies, as they approach their prime, that can happen to them as well.
Oh, well, I've not reached that.
No, you don't have to tell me, you know.
I'm guessing there.
Right. But I don't know, you see, there are some things that maybe someone somewhere just said something. I mean, some pillock somewhere must have decided when somebody said, "How are you today?" instead of saying, I'm very well.
They'll say, "How long have you got?"
No. Oh, no, I say that. It would take too long. No, they decided, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm very well, thank you," to say, "I'm good."
Mm.
Now, whoever is responsible for that really should be shot with a blunderbuss full of their own excrement. Because now everybody's saying it, and I don't know why people do that. I really do not know why people do that, because it really gets on my nerves. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it might have just been someone who said, it's gone a bit pear-shaped, and it caught on. But there are, a while back, somebody said, where does this expression gobsmacked originate? And I had a feeling about this, because like most people, you remember your gran using expressions like that. And
oddly enough, you've just played me asking about the price of fish.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that was probably a comic catchphrase or something like that. But this expression, gobsmacked, I'd never heard it. And I'd heard me gran and me great auntie and all this using all these expressions, and I'd never heard gobsmacked. Although it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, I thought, I first heard this about 20 years ago, and I'd never heard it before. Anyway, I do a bit of research, looking things up and what have you, and it turns out, it was invented, somebody invented it in the 1980s. It's not an old saying, although you'd think it was. But no, it's not. It was a saying which was invented by someone about 20 years ago, and indeed, you know the ploughman's lunch?
I certainly do.
Yeah, well, that no ploughman in history has ever had a ploughman's lunch.
No, I know.
Because it was invented by a bloke in an advertising agency in London in about 1970. So there. So what was... I've forgotten your question now. Oh, pear-shaped.
Pear-shaped. I've got another one for you as well.
But our Paris correspondent, we have a bureau in Paris, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He says...
Next door to the Bureau de Change.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And they also... What? And they say it in France. They say it's all gone en forme de poire. It's all gone pear-shaped.
Right.
They say it in France, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, there you are, you see. So you'd be able to converse with a French person.
I will.
Right, yeah.
Can I see my next one now?
Can you have a supplementary? Yes.
Right. This chap in Doncaster, you'll know who I mean. Can we rename him? Listen.
Oh, no, we're looking into that. The Key 103 Hit Squad are they're looking into that. They're just trying to find a way of making it look like an accident at the moment.
You have to get that blunderbuss out again.
Yes, yeah, and you can fill it if you want.
I'd love to.
Right. Oh dear, nasty picture in my mind there. Right, there we are. That's Sue getting us off to a flyer with the expression pear-shaped. I don't know. Actually, I'm just trying to remember the first time. But, you know, you hear an expression and you think, oh, yeah, that tells the story. Which is, of course, from the land of Shakespeare, exactly what the language is meant to do. You can adapt it to present new concepts. Shakespeare did it all the time, and nobody ever has a go at him. Max. Yes, listen, there are a number of similes to do with cobbler's thumbs. And that has been one of them. It's to do with sewing. Yeah. Thank you. The Flying Ostrich wants to know about the Voices of Hell tapes. Well, listen. I'll come on to that in a second. This Headley Steadley Smythe says, can you shed any light on the stories that time travel was invented some 25 years ago? Well, how would we know? But to date, it's been suppressed by the oil giants. I think you're deliberately confusing a number of stories there. It is said that, and these, of course, are all completely untrue, that somebody invented a light bulb that lasts forever, but they were immediately bought out by the electricity companies. They were either paid off or murdered, one or the other. A bloke supposed to have invented, and this story's been knocking around for, 30 years, that somebody invented an engine, a car engine, with one cylinder that was about the size of a cornflake packet and would fit under the driver's seat. And it did 1,000 miles to the gallon. Yeah, but the oil companies obviously didn't want this to catch on, so they either paid him off or buried him. And what was the other one? The plane that can fly around the world in an hour. Yeah, all these things. You know, but I can't help but feel that, you see, nobody decided that a bloke who could put millions of bits of information on a tiny piece of silicon was such a threat to the typewriter industry that he would have to be assassinated, did they? These things have a way of getting out and catching on, and people want them. So I'm afraid, if such an engine had been developed, we'd all have one by now, and so on and so forth. So there we are. Thank you. 0161 288 0103. I think we've given you the idea now, and we'll find another punter in a moment. And during this convenient interval, I'll have a look at these emails that people have sent instead of phoning in with them. So that'll give me something to do. Well, you just relax and I'll do all the work.
Toolin in the morning. Back tomorrow from 6 on Manchester's Key 103.
This is the Stories self-titled album. Wonderful songs and instinctively beautiful harmonies. An incredibly accomplished debut album. Includes the singles Be By Your Side and Cinnamon. A band with with live performances not to be missed. Catch the Stories on the road with Elton John this summer. The Stories album is a perfectly polished J. It's out now.
Okay, give me the results.
Tractor production, down. Beetroot yield, down. Cabbage...
Enough! Why are they so lazy?
We suspect Monarch's Revolutionary Bargain Hunter Service, sir.
Ah, yes. Where you can find all their cheapest fares. Not that I would use such a decadent service.
Oh, of course not, sir. Nor enjoy the extras like allocated seating and free newspapers.
What? The salt mines need more people, you know.
Bargain hunt your breaks at flymonarch.com.
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Well, who would have thought it? I'm finding this difficult to believe, actually, because everything is going pretty much according to plan. Marcus in Eccles, look at this, says, to go pear-shaped. An expression used to indicate that a scheme has not been perfectly executed. Yes, I think that's fair to say. The phrase seems to have originated in British English in the late 1940s or early 50s. There are several suggested origins, but the best, in my view, is related to training aircraft pilots. At some stage they are encouraged to try to fly loops. It's very difficult to make perfectly circular loops. Often the trainee pilot's loop would go pear-shaped. All right. I'm surprised. I would be surprised if it were as literal as that. But there we are. And Colin in Oldham appears to, by an extraordinary coincidence, has sent me an explanation which is, well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Word for word, exactly the same. Thank you. But there we are. It does seem, though, according to this, is that it is from the 1940s or 50s. More than that, we don't know, but we'll as I say, you're not restricted to one attempt at it. We'll keep it going throughout the evening, and we'll refresh you from time to time, so that as Hillmans join us, as we make our way along the trail, then we can get new opinions on these matters. Right. Got a joke about a dolphin. Or is it a joke? No, it isn't. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Howard in Bury. Let's have a start here. Howard in Bury, you're on that Key 103.
Good evening.
Howard.
You all right?
No.
Do you mean no? Of course you
No.
are.
I've just had a fortnight off. It's a warm evening. Everyone's sitting outside the pub.
Could be worse. Could be raining. The guys who are saying the 40s and 50s, thereabouts. They're probably about 10 or 15 years a little bit late. It was after the after the First World War, but before the Second World War, when the French and the English were actually doing training with the biplanes before they went to the single wing planes.
Honestly?
Yes. The reason it was so important not to go pear-shaped was whereas the newer forms of the flying machines or the aeroplanes had the power to be able to power out, if you didn't get it right, because if you imagine the shape of a pear, you hit the ground. And that's kind of going pear-shaped.
Right. And that's remarkably detailed. Where'd you get all that from?
Discovery Channel.
Honestly?
About 6 months ago, yeah.
Well, go to our house. I honestly thought, as I said before, it would be something to do with, like, making pottery or something like that, where it all gets out of control. Because that's funny, trying to see people stop it, isn't it, when it's all flirting all over the place.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So it's an interwar aviation term?
Yes. Which is why the French, the Spanish, the Italians, they all that kind of European area have it. I don't know if the Germans do or not, but I know that those sorts of four countries all do.
I'm just trying to remember. Do you know, I can't remember what the German is for a pear.
I know apple's apple, but
it's apple. And I can always remember the German for a plum for some reason. I don't know why.
Which is what? What's that?
Is oh no, hang on, I can't remember. No, Obst is fruit. Yeah. Oh dear. No, I can't remember the German for a plum. In fact, I don't think I've ever known the German for a plum. And in actual fact, since I rarely go to Germany and I don't like plums,
You wouldn't use it.
Yeah.
I always remember the German for council offices, town hall.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Rathausen.
It's the Rathaus. Yes, you're absolutely right. And there are many amusing words in German. Yeah, and also, of course, the plant, of which I've got quite a few coming on at the moment. Actually, the very attractive and long flowering plant, the fuchsia, is it was developed by a Mr. Fuchs.
All right, okay.
Yeah?
Which was nice.
Yeah, so really, it shouldn't be pronounced fuchsia at all. But we do.
But we would,
Right.
out of politeness.
In fact, I think we're just this side of the broadcasting act at the moment. There was, I wonder what happened to him, actually. There was a bloke. He was the Ranulph Twistleton Fiennes of his day.
Mm-hmm.
He used to explore the Arctic and the Antarctic.
All right, yeah.
I wouldn't have thought you needed to explore it more than once.
Yeah, he's white.
Yeah. And if there's penguins, you're probably at the wrong one.
Well, something's gone wrong.
But his name was Vivian Fuchs. Honestly.
Spelt?
F-U-C-H-S. You don't believe me?
No, I do believe you. I believe it's like, we had a bike which was a P-U-C-H, a French bike.
Oh, yeah.
We used to call it Puck.
Yes.
It's not Puck, but there you go.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway.
For some reason, the company solicitor's waving his arms about in the next room.
Well, before I dress myself, I'll leave you alone.
All right, so pear-shaped is an...
it's an aviation term, yeah.
Not not really aerobatics, is it? But it's a training thing. So... Yeah, so that would why it would be common to several languages if all air forces have the same problem. Yes.
To leave you with another one, there's we visit New York. We know some people who live over there, some islanders, and they have a saying: the same dog, different collar. Wondered if there's any sort of colloquialisms kicking about like that.
Where do they say that?
They say same dog, different collar.
Yeah, where?
In Mallorca.
In Mallorca, it's a Spanish thing, is it?
It's a Spanish term, yeah. It means it's sort of as we have choice breeds of people over here who are a bit iffy. They also have the same.
That's right.
It's same dog, different colour.
I think it reflects the human condition all around the world, and I'm sure that many cultures have an expression which expresses the same sentiments.
Yes.
There's one we use here, SSDD.
No, I don't know that one.
Well, the DD means different day.
All right, okay.
Yes. Much obliged.
Yeah, I'll stick to mine.
Thank you. Incidentally, Chris says the German for a pear is die Birne. Birne. B-I-R-N-E.
All right, excellent.
Birne, so that would be, pear-shaped would be Birnenformig.
Your German's far better than mine.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Thank you very much indeed. There we are. Well, I think, should we chuck it now? I think we can go home now. That was perfect. That was a textbook example. Okay? Now, if you follow that through, right, Sue comes on. Can you explain this? We get a couple of helpful replies, and then along comes Howard, delivers the knockout blow, drawing together various threads, done and dusted. It's a perfect case. I tell you what, it was like an episode of Columbo, that, wasn't it? Crammed into about 12 minutes. And that's the way it should be. At this point, I'd just like to mention that I'm about to have a massive attack of dyspepsia. I'm going to do an enormous Wyatt Earp in a moment or two. I might be able to pass it off as an asthma attack. No, we're all right. Thank you. So there. So now you see how it works. I'll just remind you again to join in the fun and games. And of course, it's informative. It's taught me a lesson anyway. 0161 288 0103. That's the way it functions. Right. Nicky in Didsbury, we did your one about why October is the 10th month, although octem means 8. We cleared that one up for you. The Romans threw a couple of extra months in honour of people and to make the maths work out. But they left the months at the end where they were, you see. Septem, Octem, Novem, Decem, 7, 8, 9, 10. But they slung in July and August, I think. Of course, the other months are named after, oh God. Janus is January, god of doorways, thresholds, and this, that, and the other. February, March, April. Can't remember. March after the god of war. Right, that's another one. We'll do that another night. Moira in Ancoat said, you've probably forgotten all about this. Yes, I have. Do you remember, a fortnight ago, a question about Ingrid Pitt being a Bond girl? Ingrid Pitt. Yeah, she was a James Bond girl. She was with Roger Moore in Octopussy. Well, fancy that. Fancy having a reference to an Octopussy, just after what we've been talking about. And she is Polish, not German. I hope that this helps. That reminds me, that's almost the punchline to an Olympic Games joke, that. Do you know that? Which I might do that for you. In fact, I will inflict that on the next Hillman who appears. I'll tell him the Polish Olympic Games joke, even though they haven't asked for it. Anthony Stormchaser says, hello, James and Jesse. As it's Theories and Queries night tonight, something I've always wondered is how many people at any one time in the world are having a poo at the same time. Please help, because I know you are Bryony. Right. Although I have to admit, I sometimes think, isn't it odd? I was just getting my head down, just contemplating sleep, just drifting into the arms of Morpheus. And I thought, isn't it funny, if you could like take if you had like a magic camera, which they did invent a magic camera, but Kodak assassinated the inventor. But if you had a camera that was like X-ray, and you could take a photograph of the half of the world that's in darkness, isn't it weird when you think about it? Loads of people, except Sam Walker, and one or two people in petrol stations. Oh, and some nurses and that. And, well, quite a lot of people, and Imran. But a large percentage of people are lying there with their eyes closed, breathing deeply. Isn't that a funny thought? And if you look down your road, imagine all those rooms, there's somebody lying asleep. I just think it's just a funny thing to think about. I feel a bit odd now. Dave in Swinton says, what about this? This isn't a question. This is, he just likes telling you things, Dave. Everyone remembers. Well, no, they don't, Dave. But some people will learn in the next few seconds this fact. That Davy Jones, now a major, still is a big noise in America, Davy Jones, the lead thingier of the 60s pop group The Monkees, he appeared in Coronation Street playing the grandson of Ina Sharples. OK, now you might be saying, oh, I knew that. But, or maybe you didn't. But anyway, that's the case. However, says Dave, I bet you didn't know. And if this is true, then I most certainly did not know this. Violet Carson, who played Ina Sharples, went to Hollywood in the mid-1960s to appear in the TV series The Monkees. Is this a fact? I can only assume this was at Davy Jones's invitation, says Dave. She played Mrs. Homer in a few episodes of The Monkees before coming all the way back to Weatherfield. The principle being, who needs Hollywood when you can have Manchester? Interesting fact, eh? Well, if it's true, that's absolutely extraordinary. I never knew that. I would have thought that would have been a fairly widespread thing. But I'll seek confirmation. Thank you for that. That's worth having a nosy. And as I say, there's this unfortunate sort of Greater Manchester nostalgia business, which I don't really want to run the show, but here we are. We might as well do it. Jackie in Pendlebury says, can you remember a film where Liza Minnelli was in Manchester? I recall her having scenes at the Piccadilly Hotel and at Old Trafford, but I don't know what the film was called. Does it ring any bells at all? Liza Minnelli appearing in a film which was shot in Manchester. Don't know about that one. Linda in Lee. Look, I did mention some famous people and things from Wigan last night, but that was merely in passing. I just happened to have been reading it on the notice board earlier, so it wasn't what we call a feature in the trade. It's just one of those things. But here, Linda says, can you help us with yet another friendly argument? Lovejoy star Ian McShane, he still does loads and loads of voiceovers, you know. Loads and loads. He was a Lancashire lad, but there's a dispute about where he came from. He wasn't on your famous Wigan list last night. Does anyone know where he's from? Well, I'll tell you this. I know that Ian McShane's dad was a Scot and played for and went on to become a scout for Manchester United. His name was Harry McShane. Oh, yes. And I actually met him a couple of times, a long, long time ago. But Harry McShane played for and scouted for United. He certainly scouted for them in the 70s. And Ian McShane is his son. So there. And there's an excellent tale, which is extraordinary. The series Lovejoy starred Ian McShane, and I've been told this is straight from the horse's mouth. The series starred Ian McShane, who, because of his upbringing, was a Manchester United fan, but the producer or the director was Colin Schindler, who is from round these parts, and, of course, he wrote Manchester United Ruin My Life. He is a lifelong Manchester City fan. Now, this is a fact, and if it's presumably Lovejoy's on UK Gold or something like that, have a look, because what used to happen, and Colin Schindler told me this himself, he said what would happen on the set was that Ian McShane would, in the background, he'd like put a photograph of George Best on the mantelpiece, and in between shots, that's a film expression, that Colin Schindler would take it down and put up a picture of Rodney Marsh, and then Ian McShane would put like an embroidered badge among some ornaments, a United badge, and Colin Schindler would change it for a City thing and what have you. And this used to go on all the time. And if you watch it carefully, you can see, like, if you're a continuity buff, you can see little Manchester City and Manchester United mementos changing as if by magic throughout. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, you have to watch really, really carefully to see them, because he couldn't make them so obvious that people would moan. But yeah, that's what I'm told. That. So Harry McShane, he carried on. He stayed in Manchester after he stopped playing for United, because he worked for them as a scout. So presumably Ian McShane was born somewhere in Manchester. Although he tries to sort of soften it, doesn't he, to like a bit of a mid-Atlantic thing. But yeah, I think he's a Mancunian. So there we are. Zoe Ball, not a clue. I think she might be from Rochdale. And there was actually there's one here which I don't care whether Jack Ayworth and Albert Tatlock came from Rochdale. I'm not interested. Not interested in the slightest. But I'll do this. I'll round this off before we have a small break, which is scheduled for 10:45. Some people just won't get off your back, will they? And how about this? Harry and Gorton. And I get right. We're bringing the curtain down on Manchester folklore now. But I'll tell you this one. Harry and Gorton says, James, can you help me with a film which was shot on location in Manchester? It was an old 50s black and white crime thriller. Stanley Baker was the copper. chasing a murderer. I remember Stanley Baker in Piccadilly Gardens and the old bus station, which has now been knocked down. I don't know what it was called. Does it ring any bells with anyone? Well, Harry, listen to this, son. I will tell you. I'll give you chapter and verse. And, you know, I've not actually seen it on DVD or video anywhere, but it must be. You must be able to get it. The film is called Hell is a City. Are you writing this down? Hell is a City, Stanley Baker as the copper, and the reason I'm so confident about this is that I remember me dad getting home late from work and saying, "Oh, town is all in chaos. They've closed off loads of streets because they're making some film." And they were filming all around Manchester, and they end up having a fight on the top of... because they always do that, don't they? A murderer always decides to run across a railway line just as the points are changing, I've noticed, and doesn't hear a goods train approaching at like 15 miles an hour, 600 tons of it. Or they go onto a roof. Why is that? Anyway, in the finest traditions of the genre, they end up having a fight on the roof of what was a hospital at the time. On, I think it was on Bridge Street? Or somewhere around there. Anyway, there used to be a thing called the Skin Hospital, which sounds ghastly, but that was when we enjoyed many of the benefits of industrialisation, such as ringworm and impetigo. So, I think it was the Skin Hospital. Anyway, they have a fight on the roof, and you can see the landscape, the cityscape of Manchester spread out behind them. And I'll tell you what would be useful. If you are, well, I'll tell you what, whatever age you are, if you're young and you don't remember what Manchester was like, only, well, what would it be now? It's probably 40 years ago. If you've never seen it, or if you are of mature years and you don't notice how much the place has changed because it changes day by day and it doesn't really register. It takes you all around Manchester. Apparently a lot of the street scenes were shot in Bolton, but quite a bit is in Manchester city centre. And if you see it, you will not believe how much Manchester has changed. It's amazing. And when they're having this fight on the roof, you can see for miles, and Manchester looks, it's just grey slate roofs and factory chimneys as far as the eye can see, and the place is just filthy. And this was the swinging 60s. What a dump it was. Anyway, the answer is the film is called Hell is a City. So, I thank you. Right. Oh, Ian in Altrincham says, on the further subject of Colin Schindler and Ian McShane, he says Colin Schindler or another City fan also wrote some Lovejoy, and if you watch it now, some of the baddies, some of the villains in it are named after United players or managers. Is that a fact? Well. Right. Thank you. Right, we're going to talk to, funnily enough, we're going to Old Trafford, but not merely to the district, not to the so-called place of entertainment. In a moment, 0161 288 0103. Questions about the whole wide field of human achievement. Whatever you like, we'll try and come up with an answer to it. 0161 288 0103.
The £25,000 triple play. £25,000. 3 songs, 1 winner. Emma in Stockport. Hi, Emma.
Please tell me I'm caller 25.
Caller 25? You're £25,000 richer.
I love Key 103. They are absolutely fantastic. The best station I've ever heard of in my life.
Listen Listen to Toolin in the morning, tomorrow from 8 a.m. for more chances to win.
Manchester's #1 hit music station, Key 103.
Singer and songwriter. All-round entertainer. See the Billy Joel Greatest Hits Tour at the MEN Arena on July the 19th. For tickets, call 0871 230 4421.
The story of the day is preparation. I've got the young man circled here on his mobile, texting Argus exactly what he wants. Watch how quickly he gets those thumbs across the keypad. That's good to see. Now Argus texts him back to say they've got it. What a result. He saved himself a lot of work with just a simple move. Yes, the new text and reserve system has worked brilliantly, but you've got to give him credit. Now all he has to do to finish the move is to go into Argus and pick up his digital camera. To get your home match fit quick, don't shop for it, Argus it.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a prince wanted to marry a princess, but not any old princess, a real one. One night in the middle of a terrible storm, there's a knock on the door. Outside stood a scruffy girl who said she was a princess. I'm a princess. She looked such a mess they didn't believe her. I don't believe you. The queen thought she'd test the princess by putting a small pea underneath the mattresses. If the princess feels the pea under the mattresses, she's a real deal. If not, she's a fake. Luckily for her, the princess felt the pea. Oh, a pea. Phew. What a merriment. The prince marries her. Hooray! They live happily ever after the end.
Renew your library books online instead of rushing them. Visit direct.gov.uk/mycouncil to renew your books, search for books, reserve books, and much more. Connect to your local council at direct.gov.uk/mycouncil.
News for motorists in the northwest. Get ready for smoother motorway travel. When traffic's heavy, new signals will regulate traffic joining the motorway on some slip roads. This means traffic flow on the motorway will be smoother during peak journey times. The new system starts from mid-June at 10 junctions on the M6, the M62 and the M60, and it's designed to reduce congestion and make your motorway journeys safer. The Highways Agency, putting motorway safety first.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, well, the Ian McShane Conservatory grows because we've had two assertions that he's from Blackburn. However, Chris in Urmston says Ian McShane is from Gorse Hill in Stretford, and that is a fact. He has signed this on a picture that was in Trafford General Hospital in Davyhulme. Right. Which, incidentally, was Nye Bevan's first ever NHS hospital. Was it? Also, across the road from the hospital is a pub called the Garrick, yes there is, where Joe Lewis and the Glenn Campbell Band, I think that should be the Glenn Miller Band, actually. Joe Lewis and the Glenn Miller Band visited during the Second World War. Oh, I didn't know any of that business. I very much doubt it was Glenn Campbell, but I'm prepared to accept Glenn Miller. So there, Gorse Hill in Stretford. Well, I don't know. We have two people saying he was from Blackburn. We'll see. Actually, Gurney in Old Trafford may very well know something about this, but he might not either. Hello there.
Hello, James.
Gurney.
It's me.
Yes, it is.
Right. Lisa Minnelli first. I can tidy a few of them up for you.
Oh, really?
Lisa Minnelli first.
Yeah.
The film she was in.
Yeah.
It's called Charlie Bubbles.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, with Albert Finney.
I was just going to say yes, wasn't Albert?
And another quite well-known actress that was in it, I think it was supposed to be Albert Finney's first wife in the picture.
Yeah.
Was Billy Whitelaw.
Oh, Billy Whitelaw. Now, you see, now she's... I'll tell you something.
Go on.
Billy Whitelaw was one of those women who was stunningly attractive and would still be by today's standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go on.
Because you look at some old film stars and they say, oh, wasn't she lovely? And you think, well, no, not really.
Yeah.
Not when you look at people today. But Billy Whitelaw was gorgeous, and she would still... You could put her in a lineup of present day. Not as... I mean, she's probably 80 now, but I know what you mean. Yeah. Lovely cheekbones.
Full woman, yeah.
Yeah, very healthy, yeah. Okay, move on. Charlie Bubbles. I seem to remember a trailer for that or something.
There was a scene... The hotel, Albert Finney and Lisa Minnelli was sharing. It was a hotel. It was the Piccadilly Hotel.
Right.
And I think it was a fairly new building at the time, the 60s.
Yeah.
And it showed some panoramic shots of Piccadilly Gardens, as was.
Ah, right.
Not as it is now, obviously. You know, and the way it's changed slowly over the years.
Well, wait a minute.
Sorry?
Wait a minute, because they did the same thing in Billy Liar.
Ah, but that was from a different angle. That was the angle they did from there was actually from the corner of
near Woolworths, wasn't it?
Yeah, Oldham Street.
Yeah.
Because there was a jewellers on the other side of the road called Sacquey and Lawrence.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you don't remember that, do you?
I remember the name.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think at the time,
near the Irish linen shop.
Well, do you know where my granny used to... Oh, never mind.
Of course I don't know where your granny... No, anyway, go on.
Don't start that.
Right.
So, now, the other thing was, the fight, or the scuffle, that was at Rooftop, I always believed...
This is in Hell is a City?
In Hell is a City. I think it was on top of the refuge, James.
Oh, was it?
I have a strong feeling it was on top of the refuge. But I wouldn't like to contradict someone as... brainy as you.
Well, I know it's you're normally very, very unwise because I am very briny.
But I bet you tuppence.
Okay, I can run to that. Yeah.
I want odds of 3 to 1.
All right then, I'll see. Now that is.
I can chip something else. Oh, the McShane.
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane's father, the illustrious footballer.
Harry. Yeah.
Harry. Used to be something to do in Massey Ferguson. I think he was like the employment clerk. What's the word for it?
Are they calling human resources now?
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was something else. It was human resource.
Personnel.
He actually worked there.
Oh, did he?
For a spell, yeah. I know that for a fact. I met him in there.
Well, he used to come in my uncle's shop and always have a bit of banter.
Did it really?
Yeah.
You're making this up, James.
No, I'm not, honestly.
I know what you like.
No, this is absolutely true in Trafford Park, right? So that would make sense, right? And he came in the day after City beat United 4-0 in the League Cup.
Yeah.
And Colin Bell was carried off injured after 3 minutes.
Is that when he run into Martin Buchan?
Colin Bell says he wouldn't like to say that there was any intent involved. Anyway.
Go on.
And he came in, and I said nothing like, but a bloke was there getting his angling mail or something, who really, I had no idea this bloke was interested in football at all. And my uncle said to Harry McShane, he said, see, your lot got shown up last night.
Yeah.
And Harry McShane, yeah, he said, four breakaways. He said, 4 breakaways and they beat us 4-0. And this bloke, I don't think I'd ever heard him speak before.
Yeah.
He was just putting his angler's mail on his arm, and he said, well, it's a good job they didn't have 5 breakaways then, isn't it? And walked out of the shop. But anyway, that was Harry McShane, father of Ian McShane. Now,
I think Harry McShane was from up Lancashire somewhere. Originally.
Oh, was he?
I think he had I think he may have got from somewhere like Burnley or...
Well, people are saying Ian McShane was born in Blackburn, so if they're mixing it up with Harry, then maybe it was Blackburn, I don't know.
I think Ian McShane was like a Stretford Grammar School boy, that sort of thing,
right.
You know, and he got into drama from, going to such a school, I expect.
Right, well, yeah, if it's...
That sort of thing,
Well, Gorse Hill,
I heard a good one today. I heard a good one today about the word dumbbell.
Yes.
Do you know how it came about?
Oh, do you know...
I don't want to spoil it if you want to have a little guess. I can let the lassie know and...
I can't... The lassie?
Aye, Jackie. Me and her get on fine.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
You mind your own business.
The lassie. Mind you, she does look...
whistling now.
No, she does look a bit like Lassie.
Don't you start whistling.
Listen, I can't remember what it is now, but I have seen this, because there's a barbell and a dumbbell... And I have seen the answer to this, and I can't remember. But I know it is not what you would expect. So you tell us, Gurney.
Do you want to leave it till next week?
No, do it. No, let's keep it ticking over.
Well, actually, sorry, do you want to leave it?
No.
All right. Sometime in I think it was the reign of Charles II.
Yeah.
People decided they want to get or keep fit. Okay.
Yeah.
And bell ringing was one of the ways of doing it. They wouldn't do half marathons or anything like that.
Thank God.
Right.
That means they wouldn't all have to park on the pavement outside my house when they're going to Eaton Park on a Sunday.
What are you eating there?
Oh, nothing. Oh, pizza. Anyway, go on.
So...
Yeah, a dumbbell. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Go on. Yeah.
So instead of getting on everybody's nerves...
Yeah.
All through the evening, banging away with these bells...
Yeah.
They devised a method of ropes, spindle, and weights that didn't make any noise.
That's right. They put a big weight on instead of the bell, didn't they?
There was various weights, James, for different speed. You know, it was quite an adjustable piece of apparatus from what I can see of it.
Right.
And it made no noise.
Of course, it was a dumbbell.
That's
right. Yeah.
I thought that was quite good, actually.
It's very now you see now
That's
I like
the
that.
sort of thing that keeps me going.
It does. It gives you closure, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. And you got your exercise.
Have you got pepperoni on that?
No, I don't know. You buy one get one free, but the free one's only cheap, bottom of the range sort of thing.
Don't cut it into 8 pieces, James.
Oh no, I couldn't eat 8.
No. And have a nice cup of coffee afterwards.
No, a tea, of course, but
and a Rennie.
Oh, might have to have a Rennie. Yeah. What I might do, I might have to have a Fennings Little Healer.
Oh yeah.
But they are rather old to get hold of.
Yeah.
One last thing for you. Hey, thank you very much indeed for that.
Right, I'm off now.
The McShanes.
The McShanes. I think it's father from Lancashire, the young fella from Stretford. Someone said Gorshill. It could be because he went to Stretford Grammar.
Right.
Which used to be for boys, which used to be on Greatstone Road. Now it's a mixed school for. It's a high school standard, but
All right. Not interested in that. Listen, the McShanes were both members of Davy Hume Golf Club. Says this message. That's opposite the Garrick's Head, and Manchester United used to own some houses near there. Well, there we are, you see.
Yeah.
So, I am much obliged to you. I'll just ask you one thing before you go, Gurney.
Good night.
No. Were you interested in Noggin the Nog?
I've got the CD here, the DVD.
You've not?
No, I've not. I'm kidding.
Well, listen. Linda in Lee says, big news on the Noggin the Nog front. Apparently, there are plans afoot to release it on DVD. I'll keep you posted. Now,
I would have got in trouble for pirating there, wouldn't I?
Yeah. A generation knows nothing of Noggin the Nog, and it's not for the want of me trying to educate them.
You know what a noggin is, James?
It's don't start. It's weights and measures and all that.
No. There's another word for the word noggin. Do you know a joist? You know the joist under your floor?
Oh, yeah.
It's to stop it doing the rumba when you're walking on your floorboards. They have a piece of wood knocked in between the joists, and it's called a noggin.
That's right, yeah. And, because you have to drill through them when you're rewiring, I've noticed.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Pretty bored and all, isn't it?
No, it's fascinating. It's the very lifeblood of independent radio.
Okay. I think you've dropped a bit of pizza on the floor there, James.
It was. There is a bit... Oh, God, there's a bit of mozzarella down one of the faders now.
That's it, yeah.
Right, so
I thought it was something trying to climb up. Anyway.
Can't guarantee what commercials you're going to get now, son.
Okay.
Thank you, much obliged. There we are. And I couldn't help but notice there was a sizable flurry of Hillmans, because the Hillmanometer went peaked suddenly there. So it looks as if, contrary to my every fibre of my being, we're going to have an the McShane family night. Hellfire. Right, I'll do some more emails for you here. Don't understand that one. Yes, a pear in German is eine Birne, and a plum is eine Pflaume. That would make sense. Paul in Bredbury, the Richter scale. He said, you know when we have an earth tremor in Bredbury? Do you? It's measured on the Richter scale. Yeah, well, not just in Bredbury, it's all over. Where does the Richter scale come from, and who or what was a Richter? Well, I don't know. It might be slang for some unpleasant activity in Germany, but it was invented by a bloke called Richter. Don't know whether he was... It sounds as if he was German. Might not have been. But the thing about the Richter scale is that it's... because they don't know how bad earthquakes can get, it's open-ended. Right? There isn't a maximum. It's just whatever. But it's a factor of 10. Each, on the Richter scale is 10 times. So, something that measures 3 on the Richter scale is 10 times as violent as one that measures 2. and a 4 is 10 times as violent as that, so it's 100 times. It's that kind of scale. But I don't know who Mr. Richter was. Ian McShane also played Judas in the series Jesus of Nazareth. Did he? That's, yeah. Oh, and that, well, that's interesting then, because we had, did we have two Mancunians? No, it doesn't matter. Right. Thank you. And Claire in Urmston says, could anyone confirm for me, could any of your Hillmans confirm for me that Mystic Meg worked for Boots the Chemist on Market Street many years ago? I would love to know. Don't know anything about that kid. But there we are. Right, back to the, it's all very complicated, this. So who was Mr. Richter? Herr Richter? Der Richter und sein Henker. Richter is actually, yes, Richter is German for judge. That's extraordinary, isn't it? I'm sure that's coincidence. Colin in Oldham says, Birnen für mich. Yes, not for mich, of course it takes an umlaut. Birnen für mich is German for pear-shaped. Thank you very much indeed. And Darren in Salford, now what about this? I sometimes get the uneasy feeling that I'm the only person in the world who remembers certain things. And now and again, it's a great comfort to know that there are other people who do. Darren in Salford says, do you remember in the late 70s there was a great hoo-ha about a book which was supposed to contain clues leading to a hidden or buried rabbit made out of solid gold? What was it all about? What was it called? Was it found? And has anyone else tried anything similar? Or is there anything ongoing? Now, this rings a considerable bell, this, because you were supposed to, obviously, you were supposed to buy this book, read it, and work out where this golden rabbit was buried. And a certain type of person, the sort of people who'd read Lord of the Rings and never been the same again, started trying to find this golden rabbit. That's as much as I remember. I can't remember who it was by or any more details on that, but that would be fascinating. Darren, I'm glad you remember that, because it does worry me sometimes. I read a book, a psychology book, and it said if sometime there's something wrong with you if you think you're the only person in the world who knows something. The trouble is, sometimes I really am. But there's two of us on this occasion. It's a trap. So the golden rabbit, I think it was a golden hare, if memory serves, but that is all that I can remember about it. 0161 288 0103, if you can enlighten, if you can improve Darren's lot. Minjita Chunda in Wogdin says, James, I have it on good authority that the term pear-shaped derives not from aviation, well, not from powered aviation, but from hot air ballooning in the early 1900s. When the balloon got into severe trouble, because with the fire going out or gas running out, the balloon would go pear-shaped. And this term caught on during the World Wars. Did it? Did it indeed? Okay, well, that's another theory. So far, we've had, I still like the idea of the potter's wheel business, but there you go. Either aviation between the world wars or ballooning at the turn of the 19th to the 20th century. I cannot say. More than that, I cannot say. Let's catch up with some more here. William in Wigan says the origin of the expression daft as a brush. Done this before, William, and I think I'm entirely right in saying that it's a misquote that. It was a comic. It was a northern comic in the days of music hall, and it might have been Hilda Baker or somebody like that, who used to say somebody or other was as soft as a brush. which got a laugh in those days, because, you know, people were less sophisticated. So the original expression was soft as a brush, but people started saying daft as a brush. And that, I would stake my reputation on that. So that shows you how much faith I've got in that. Look, who's this? A whole page off the internet on Violet Carson. Yeah, I've got enough to read here, pal. Can you do me the distinction of distilling that for me? Colin in Oldham says, Ian McShane, born 1942, Blackburn, Lancashire. Okay. Several people saying that, but there's a strong case, there is a strong lobby for Gorse Hill. Thanks. Ian McShane is from Gorse Hill in Stretford. Further confirmation. And Susan Lomax in Radcliffe says, yes, James, it's true. Violet Carson did appear in an episode of The Monkees, and also Batman, Bewitched, and The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. I do hope, Susan, you're not trying to start something off here whereby people are humorous to the point of being disrespectful. And next, hang on, Peter, we'll be with you in a second, but I just want to do this. Chris in Urmston says, Hell is a City was filmed in Manchester in 1959 and released in 1960. The novel published in the USA as Murder Somewhere in This City. This is taken from a website here, I take it, but there's no illustration with it. The poster is from the American release of the film in 1960 and gives the impression of a North American city rather than grimy old Manchester. I have some stills lobby cards for this film, which I will eventually post on this page. Oh, I see. I would really be interested to see some photographs taken by bystanders at the various locations in and around Manchester, especially in Levenshulme. So there we are. And John in Salford, that film with Liza Minnelli in Manchester was called Charlie Bubbles. It starred her and Albert Finney, and Alf Roberts was in it as well. God blimey, Charlie. Peter in Salford.
Good evening.
Well.
Well, here I am.
We might as well... I'm surprised we haven't got a pavement somewhere in Manchester with all people's handprints in it.
Yeah, why not? It wouldn't be a bad idea, that. Like they have in America.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You won't be able to see it for chewing gum.
Yeah, that's true. Listen.
No.
Wait. I was getting off the Metrolink last week.
Yes.
In Eccles.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I'll do a bit of shopping at Morrison's, and I just walked down that little ramp thing at the end of the platform. And I was looking down, and I thought, good God, all the chewing gum marks, you know. It really does look awful.
Well, I think, eventually, it's gone a bit cold this now, I think eventually it'll say wear and tear on the pavement. Won't it?
Yeah.
Because when they all join up, there'll be an indestructible layer of cheap clay all over the show.
Seems to be tough stuff as well.
Oh, I can't get rid of it. A bit like this bloody pizza.
Well...
I've been chewing this for 20 minutes, there's not a mark on it.
Was it delivered?
Oh, no, that's a lovely gag, that.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Go on.
Bloke rings up a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
He says, hello, mate, do you deliver? He says, no, we do chicken, pork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
I've not done the... Oh! I threatened somebody with the Polish-German joke.
Oh, yeah.
Ingrid Pitt was Polish, not German. Do you know this one?
No.
The Olympics?
No.
When was it? Must have been Munich, 1972.
God, that's going back.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that, actually.
True story. Fella comes walking along, he's got a big fiberglass pole over his shoulder. Shorts and a vest on. And obviously, you know, it all went terribly wrong, didn't it? At the
yeah.
So security was very tight. So security bloke stops him. He says, "Excuse me." He says, "Are you a pole vaulter?" He says, "No, I'm German, but how do you know my name anyway?"
Yeah. Volta.
Yeah.
Volta.
Yeah.
Volta.
Yes, all right. Don't flog it to death.
Yeah, well, anyway, listen, right. I've got a question here. It's very simple and primitive. It's about the slang term.
Target audience, yeah.
Yeah. So the question is this. The old knocking shop, right, the term for the cat house and all the rest of it, did it originate in the United States and possibly round about the World War II era?
What did what originate?
The slang term, knocking shop.
A knocking shop? I really don't know.
Yeah.
An extraordinary question to pose, Peter, if you don't
really
mind my
is.
saying
As
so.
I said, it was primitive, you know.
Who wrote this? Somebody famous wrote this about themselves. That my father played piano in a house of ill repute. That's where he met my mother. Of that meeting, I'm the fruit.
Yeah. Nice one.
That was somebody quite famous, that, actually.
Do you remember there was a thing during the war they used to call the knocker-up?
Oh, that was a very different thing.
Yeah, I know. But it really confused
Are you
the
all right, Peter? What are you...
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine, you know. But here's a serious question now.
Right.
And this is one specific listener out there who was talking to you ages ago. His name is Ken in Eccles. Now, I'm sure this guy knows the answer if he's listening. And it's an anorak question, come to think of it. It's to do with the old steam locomotives.
Yeah.
Something that they refer to as priming, when you see tons of steam hissing out of it like wild. And I've heard the term, it's priming.
Oh.
Now, I wish someone could explain this, elaborate on it. You know, I'd be very curious about that. You know,
priming?
Very eager to know, yeah.
Something to do with steam engines?
Yeah. When you see them kind of hissing away, you know, tons of steam shooting out of the side and everything. And I've heard the term, it's priming.
Is this when they're moving, or when they're just getting ready, like when they're firing up?
When they can be slow, actually, you know, and they're just starting off, and they're full of pressure and everything. And I'm wondering whether this is a term used to describe it when it's running out of water and there's something's happening, and I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm asking you.
All right.
And if anyone out there knows the answer to this, I'd be eager to know. And by the way, here's something else strange. I heard on a rival radio station today. Yeah.
Oh, the very idea.
I know. Well, they were talking about something called the silent plane. Believe it or not, they're trying to invent new technologies that will enable an aeroplane to sound as quiet as a car. We're talking about an airliner.
Yeah.
So quiet, in fact, that you won't be able to hear it above a normal conversation in the street.
Yeah.
And I think, wow, that would be good, that.
Well, of course it would.
Especially if you live down at Heald Green.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, there's a bit of a long step from saying, wouldn't it be a nice idea if planes didn't make any noise, to actually coming up with one. I mean, I think Rolls-Royce are probably... they're probably more interested than anybody.
Well, apparently, they are kind of partners in this project, which is being done... The actual project is being organised between an institute in Cambridge and Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the USA.
Yeah.
And the way they were talking about it, they're absolutely convinced that this can be done. And here's the interesting bit about all this sort of thing.
It better had be.
Yeah. You know the old expression, where there's a will, there's a way?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I remember years ago an expert saying, well, no, that's impossible. It could never be done, that you could make a plane really quiet. And yet we have witnessed, haven't we, over the past 30 years, planes getting progressively quieter and quieter.
Yes. I mean, we've witnessed people running the mile in shorter and shorter times, but there has to be, as far as no one will ever run the mile in no time whatsoever, will they? And maybe, I mean, there is clearly, we don't know where it is, but there is clearly an absolutely minimum time in which you can run a mile. We don't know what it is yet, but there obviously is one. And therefore there may very well be a threshold at which you can't make aircraft engines any quieter. I'm sure it's the dream. I'm still trying to... I mean, Malcolm from Wigan refuses to be drawn on the subject, But
funny you should mention him. I was just thinking about him for a certain reason.
Oh, dear me. Do we need to know this?
Yeah, quantum theory.
Oh, right. Well, he was remarkably quiet on the linear induction motor.
Really?
Yeah, which was going to revolutionise everything. It was. I tell you what, it was going to be even more internationally successful than the hovercraft.
I remember that.
That's how good it was.
Professor Eric Laithwaite.
I think you might be right.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a demonstration of it in the Corn Exchange.
When?
When I was
you were a kid, yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
And this was brilliant. All you need is like a steel rail, one steel rail, and the linear. Oh no, you could build like a trough, and the linear induction motor would just switch it on, and it'd just carry on like that forever.
Yeah.
The rail doesn't need to be electrified because the engine is.
Yeah.
And it just moves. Anyway, it's too complicated now, but there you are. Look it up. Linear induction motor. British invention. Never heard of from that day to this. I thank you.
Wait.
What?
They do have it. Abroad in Germany. I think it's Siemens that have been doing one, and the Japanese also have been doing it.
Oh, brilliant.
About 300 miles an hour or something like that. Yes, come to think of it, in Germany, God, and this is going back a bit, this is not exactly cutting edge anymore. I'm sure I saw this on a TV documentary about 7 years ago or 10 years ago. And the bit that I do remember is how do you actually change from one track to another? You know,
God, no, I don't know.
Well, the whole thing, like a monorail thing that it's mounted on.
Yeah.
The whole thing kind of bends from one position to the next. One rail to the next.
I have not the faintest idea. I'm just saying that if they developed it, it was on paper. It was a brilliant idea. Yeah. You didn't need. It was entirely simple, and it was going to change the face of the world, but it didn't. Get off now, right? That's quite enough of that. The question is, if we sort out the rubbish out of there, which leaves very little. I think what he was after there was what does priming mean when used in regard to a railway engine? Thing mostly not answered yet is some answers have come in about the Richter scale, and this thing which I thought I was the only person who remembered it, the golden hair, a book which apparently contained clues which would lead you to find some buried treasure in the form of, I'm sure it was a hare, or it might have been a rabbit anyway, supposedly made of solid gold. It rings a distinct bell, that. I can't remember more than that. And off to Swinton in a second. Steve Broadhurst in Swinton says, Hell is a City, the film is available on DVD at play.com for £5.99, including post and packing. So people aren't falling over themselves to get hold of it, are they? But Ian McShane also had trials for Manchester United, and he lived in Stretford. I think somebody said, I might have got it wrong, he might have been brought up in Stretford, but I've still got a feeling he was born in Blackburn. Anyway, I don't think we need to be entirely accurate in this respect. Unless you want us to try and get hold of him. He's probably doing a voiceover session now, so he won't be available. Or recording a World Cup song. Because everybody... I think there's only me and Jackie who haven't actually recorded a World Cup song yet. We're going to have to struggle, aren't we? We can't get into a recording studio anywhere. They're all booked. But I think that's good enough, right? So let's call him a Stretfordian for the sake of argument. Thank you. Right, Tony in Swinton, you've been very patient, and I'll come to you in a second, old scout, if that's all right with you. James H. Reeve on Key 103, 0161 288 0103, the number which will put you in touch with this great artery of infotainment on Key 103.
Download your World Cup survival guide and live like a footballer's wife. Log on to key103.co.uk with the Lowry Outlet Mall, Salford Keys.
Beep, 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 beep. Introducing BE from Budweiser. A new drink with a mix of caffeine, ginseng and guarana. with 5% ABV and a crisp fruit taste. Grab a BE. Now let's mix it up.
Maybe love, maybe fun.
Maybe nights out. Maybe nights in.
Maybe romance, maybe friendship.
Maybe something serious. Maybe just for laughs.
Maybe-friends.co.uk.
Safe, secure and discerning. A new dating database has arrived in the Northwest.
Maybe-friends.co.uk. Sign up now and registration is free.
Maybe it's exactly what you've been looking for.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, well, that's, it's all changed now, isn't it? Now you've done that.
Dunno.
Right. Oh, Tony in Swinton. Hello, sunshine.
Oh, yeah, you all right?
No.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Well, listen, the book you're talking of is called Masquerade. Right, the book. Now, let me tell you about it.
Oh, the hare, the rabbit, whatever it is.
It was either a rabbit or a hare. I think it was a rabbit, and it was made out of gold, and it was laden with diamonds. Now, at the time, it was conservatively valued at £20,000. And it was buried somewhere secret, and the guy who wrote the book, Masquerade, buried it with Bamba Gascoigne. Right?
That's a dirty trick.
Now, they buried it somewhere.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
Right, they buried it, and then he wrote this book giving you clues as to where the rabbit was, or hare, whatever it was. Yeah. It was valued at £20,000. Only Bamba Gascoigne and himself knew where it was. Now, they had university dons working on it, right, trying to figure out where it was.
Right.
And when the book went for sale in W.H. Smith, it sold out completely within 40 minutes. It was like a big child's book, you know, with all pictures of churches and mountains. I mean, I thought it was an anti-park at one stage in Salford, but anyway, that's besides the bar. Now,
wouldn't have lasted long there, mate.
Now, to be honest with you, I mean, I've never heard anything of it since. I mean, and all the books sold out. As soon as it hit the shelves, it sold out completely.
Right.
I never heard anything of it. Now, there were lots and lots of complaints about this because, like, there were people digging up farmers' fields and, you know, landowners were all complaining that there were gangs of people going on there with metal detectors and shovels and turning the countryside over. Now, I didn't actually know of anyone actually finding it, to be honest.
This was...
now, this would have been in the...
before metal detectors, wasn't it?
Well, I think there were metal detectors around at that time. Was it this... Hold on, it would have been... Hold on, let me think. Around about the 1970s, I would imagine. 1970s, something like that. And I never heard anything of it, if anybody actually found it. I mean, the cryptic clues, you know, like, but the university dons were on it, and they couldn't figure out where it was.
And this...
it was called Masquerade.
Yeah, the book... It was like a story. It was like a novel, wasn't it? That you had to to read the novel, and here we are. Yeah, listen to this. This is just this has come from New Mills. The book's called Masquerade. Yeah. Kit Williams.
Yeah, that's it.
Is the author. Sparked a worldwide treasure hunt by concealing clues to the location of a jewelled golden hare.
That's it. It was a hare, yeah. It was inladen. It was made out of 22 carat, and it was inladen with rubies, diamond. You know, it was worth 20,000. Well, at the time, that was probably like $500,000 now.
Very good, Carrot. I like you got that one in. Lovely. It became the It became the inspiration for a genre of books known today as armchair treasure hunts. Here we are. Bamba Gascoigne helped bury the treasure. An ex-girlfriend of the author had a vague idea where it was buried and helped her current boyfriend to find it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There was a scandal over this. Oh, right.
A bit like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with coffin and all that, wasn't it? So along them lines, a little bit of conspiracy.
Yeah. Right. Oh,
I mean...
right, listen to me. There is a website here, and it's called bunnyears.net and /Kit Williams. And that will explain all about it. Do you know, I'm so glad because I had a vague one of those things, you sort of remember things in different ways. And this was, I just had a feeling that there was something about this hidden bloody hair or whatever it was. But there we are.
I mean, I can see it with my mind's eye. I can see this book. And it was all like, you know, beautiful cartoons, if you like, and a novel all written in. It was like a big glossy book.
Yeah.
I can distinctly remember seeing the cock perched on top of a turret, you know what I mean, with some kind of a fairy figure up there, you know what I mean? And it didn't have to look like Salford Cathedral. Anyway, listen, what about to ask you, you know the thing you was talking about earlier on, Noggin the Nog?
Yes.
Now, I can remember that. Wasn't it some kind of a flying dragon or something like that, and he got on it?
Oh, there was...
This is Noggin the Nog.
Yeah. There was a dragon. I can't remember the dragon's name, but it was fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there's loads of websites on it, and you can actually download a little bit of the music. It would have benefited from a bit of digital technology, but you know they were innocent days, and I think the King Noggin was I don't know who he was really, but there was King Nog.
It was like a Viking type bloke, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, all very Viking inspired. Noggin's mate, who was big and daft but loyal and brave, was Thor Nogson. And the villain, who was always trying to steal the throne, was called Nogbad the Bad, which is brilliant. Fantastic stuff.
Right, well, you know, one last thing I want to clear up. I was on last night talking about that Wayne Newton, that American equivalent. Yeah, now, it came to me today, one of the songs, well, the song that made him famous was, Daddy, don't you walk so fast, slow down, son, 'cause you're making me run. Daddy, don't, you know that one?
Was
you
that
know
him?
What I mean?
God,
that was him, yeah.
That was appalling, wasn't it?
I can't sing as you could, but no. The film that he was in License to Kill with Timothy Dalton. Right. And he played like that priest who came on and said, we want to raise so many thousands of dollars today, you know, for this church. And what he was actually doing was he was hiding the prices of drugs. You know, we've raised $56,000, and that was
no idea what you're talking about.
That was in License to Kill.
Right.
And that was in.
Okay, right, thank you very much indeed. Right, that's lovely. Right, sorry, it was all getting all over the show there. Thank you. There we are. That was Tony in Swinton, who started off brilliantly. And that went downhill towards the end. If you want to find out what that was all about, then apparently Bunny Ears, BUNNYEARS.net, and then /Kit Williams, and it will confirm everything that Darren suggested. Thank you. Right, shall you have a breather? I'll have to do, because that's pizza's lying a bit heavy.
You've only had one piece.
I know, but I feel as if I've eaten a cannonball.
Oh.
It is 11:30, funnily enough, so we'll do one of these, and then we'll have a little bit of a roundup. Thank you. 0161 288 0103, incidentally. It's James H. Reeve on Key 103, back in, returned from, exotic places, and stuck here again. 0161 288 0103. For our traditional Monday night excursion into the world of queries and theories. That's like questions and answers, but it's a bit catchier.
Posh.
Well, it's a bit catchier.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well.
Key 103 and Nokia Rock Up and Play, bringing people together to share and enjoy upcoming music talent. Listen to Debbie Mack from 7 p.m. this week for a chance to win Carling Weekend Leeds Festival tickets and a Nokia 3250. Plus, get to Jabez Clegg on June 13. Local bands and DJs and Nokia's Rock Up and Play stage, with a chance for any band to rock up and show off their talent. Nokia, sharing your passion for music on Key 103.
Helen, do you want
a baby?
No, do you want
a baby?
No, Helen, do you want
no, I want a baby.
No, do you want...
I want a baby.
A cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea?
Yes, please, and a biscuit.
Good.
And a baby.
Feeling broody? It's time to go on the pill. Sanatogen Pronatal is a multivitamin and mineral supplement with folic acid that's scientifically proven to ensure you get the important vitamins and minerals you may need before and during your pregnancy. Sanatogen Pronatal.
We've been thinking about it.
Sometimes there is no time to think, especially if you're after a new Kia Rio limited edition Zap with 5 doors, 1.4-litre engine, aircon, CD player and 1 year's free insurance from just £7,495. So drop everything and run to your nearest dealer or visit kia.co.uk, because when they're gone, they're gone. The new limited edition Rio Zap from Kia, the thinking person's car company. Conditions apply.
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
I said it was a big mistake.
I was looking at you thinking, you're still going to attempt to eat it?
Not now.
7 seconds. 6
Right.
seconds. 5 seconds.
Oh! I've swallowed a big piece of mozzarella.
I think you actually took the bite at 3 seconds to go.
Oh!
That's hilarious.
I've got a piece of mozzarella. One end's still in my mouth and the other's somewhere down near my heart somewhere.
Well, hold on. Do you want me to read out some of these?
Read some emails while I try and get hold of, while I have a fish round for this.
Okay. Sue in Denton, with regards to Ian McShane, says the Ian McShane question you had earlier, I think he was born in Blackburn.
I can't get any purchase on it.
He may have been raised in Manchester, but I think Blackburn is where he was born. Okay.
Keep going.
Alright, Paul in Oldham.
Lots of pace.
Hi James, the film with Lisa Minnelli was called Charlie Bubbles. It was Albert Finney in the title role. Colin in Oldham, Hell is a City was filmed in Leamington in 1959 and released in 1960. The roof was the Refuge Assurance Building on Oxford Road in Manchester.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that.
Do what?
Refuge Assurance Building?
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
So the roof was the Refuge Assurance Building.
The Refuge Assurance Building? You did that.
I didn't.
That will not be tolerated.
That's Australian, isn't
That
it?
is not allowed. Everyone is doing it.
I don't think I did that.
People I would never have thought would do it.
I didn't do it.
You did.
I didn't.
If I could operate this machinery, I could prove it. But only you know how to.
Well, there we go.
Right.
This scene is from the exciting finale on the rooftops above.
He put it in a paper bag?
I didn't do that.
You did.
Chris in Irmston says, sorry James, it was the Glenn Miller Band who visited the Garrick Pub in Davyhulme. The band and Jerry Lewis stayed the night at the Garrick Pub Hotel as they were visiting and entertaining the American soldiers who'd been treated at Park Hospital, now called Trafford General, during the Second World War. Oh, and he adds, a great show tonight, no nutters so far. Is he listening?
Only on the premises.
Sue in Denton. Ian McShane was definitely born on the 29th of the 4th, 1942 in Blackburn. It's on his website. And something else which I can't understand. Peter.
That doesn't stop me.
No. In Northern
It all eats up valuable seconds.
That's true. Why are you eating that? Take another bite.
Go on.
James Noggin the Nog is already available on DVD. It was released on the 31st of May 2005. Here's what's on disc 1. Features 33 episodes chronicling the saga of Noggin the Nog. Sagas featuring... oh no, I'm going to get all this wrong.
No, go on, this is great.
Sagas featured include King of the Nogs, the Ice Dragon, the Flying Machine, the Omruds. Yeah? Omruds.
Look.
The Fire Cake.
No,
I still don't know what I did wrong with the other one. Odin.
Oh, Odin. Odin, yeah.
Is it Odin?
No, it's a chain of off licenses. Look, don't look at me as if...
Omrods, it must be right.
Yeah. Well, how do we know? It's just a word made up by Oliver Postgate, isn't it?
Yeah, but I seem to get the other one very wrong, didn't
Onwards. Yeah, but Odin is generally... right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Go in.
The Fire Cake, the
Odin,
pie...
you've seen the film, surely?
No, I haven't.
You must. Everybody's seen the film.
I haven't.
Go on, back to Noggin.
The pie and the Ice Dragon, which is already said. Okay. Moira and Ann Coates.
The Ice Dragon 2.
My mum used to work opposite the building where Stanley Baker and John Crawford had the fight on top of the roof. She saw Stanley Baker get shot, and he still managed to thump John Crawford and arrest him.
That's right, yeah.
I bet they were all stood at the windows going, oh, look at that.
The director going, get away from the window.
Yeah.
Oh no, they would, because you would do, wouldn't you?
Get back to your machines. Chris in Flixton. James, do you have any idea which part of Manchester Maggie Philbin came from?
No, don't care.
I know she was Manchester born and bred and attended Manchester Uni to study drama with fellow classmates who included Rick Mail, Ade Edmondson and Ben Elton. No?
Don't know, don't care.
Oh, I think I just gave myself a paper cut.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
Andrew in Stockport says, hello James, you were discussing the films Charlie Bubbles and Billy Liar with their panoramic views of Piccadilly Gardens. Well, the film The Lovers with Richard Beckinsale is similar. This was a film of the TV series and starred Richard B. and one of the girls from Man About the House. In the film, the pair of them are shown in the Hotel Piccadilly looking out onto the gardens and Woolworths.
All right, yeah.
Also, they are seen at Old Trafford watching Manchester United. Weren't the early 70s brilliant?
In many ways, yeah.
And last one from Mark in Wigan says, hi James, you were talking about Billy Whitelaw earlier. She was in Charlie Bubbles and she also played Donald Pleasance's wife in Hell is a City. She had
No!
That's what he says.
It's amazing, isn't it? So she was in... it all goes in a... This is what I'm saying, it's just like The Lion King.
Circle of Life.
It all goes about, everything's connected, it's just a big matrix.
She had an affair with John Crawford, who was the killer on the run, apparently.
Yeah. Well, of course, you see. Oh, God, that travelled a fair distance, didn't it? That particular bit of chewed...
cheese.
Yeah, of course, as you can imagine, this fight takes place with everyone wearing trench coats and trilbies. And Stanley Baker does get shot, but of course, where does he get shot?
Arm.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, is it?
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah.
1,000,000 to 1 chance, yeah. Yeah, so he fights on with his, well, sort of shoulder. Usually in the shoulder area, isn't it? Usually, yeah. And he still manages to give him a good hiding.
There's loads of films. Is it Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, when they're all shooting at each other in massive fights, but no one gets injured?
No, that's right.
Until the very last scene,
yeah.
when the goodie kills the baddie.
Well, I mean, I don't want to bring up the vexed subject of Where Eagles Dare again, but have you noticed in films that German soldiers always run into the biggest open space available if they want to fire their rifle at anyone?
I hadn't noticed that, to be honest.
They always, they might be hiding behind a big pile of sandbags.
Right.
But if they want to shoot somebody, they run out and stand in the middle of the street.
Just so everyone can see.
Yeah, so they can all get shot.
Is it the A-Team where there's no blood?
Don't know.
Oh.
No, that's the Kosher Butchers on Bury New Road.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Right.
Dave has sent a text in.
Yes.
Go on.
So how do we tackle this one then?
I don't know.
I just thought you'd like to know that Noggin the Nog is on one of the Sky Music channels every morning as part of a nostalgic strand of old kids' shows. Thank you.
I'll have to try and catch that, since I've never seen it before.
No, and I'll have to find out what this Sky Television's all about. Oh, so many things to do, isn't there, really?
So little time.
Yeah, what with one thing and another. Thank you all. Right, 0161 288 0103 is, of course, the number which is always at your disposal. It's 20 minutes to midnight, and we have the whole world of facts before us. Now, you might think it's a little suspicious that someone who corresponds with us frequently has chosen to name himself after the underseat heating system of a now obsolete British rail rolling stock thing. Sorry, sentence got rather longer than I was planning. But yeah, this is a spanner swirly flow.
Ah, right.
Right. But he does actually know what priming is when it comes to railway engines, which makes my anxiety about him that much deeper. Anyway, I'll find it in a minute here. But Paul in Radcliffe says, to let you know, the ship which was allegedly rendered invisible and teleported. Oh yeah. In the Philadelphia experiment was the USS Eldridge, not the USS Philadelphia. I beg your pardon then. That was just a great big soft cheese. It's not funny, Paul. Shut your face. Yes. Oh, that's right. Not only was this ship, according to this drunken, homeless lunatic. Sorry to offend now, drunken, homeless.
You've just lost all your listeners.
Yeah. I'm sorry if that caused any offence to members of the drunken, homeless, lunatic community.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So, of course, none of this happened whatsoever. But according to the book, the ship not only was made invisible, but you could still see the shape of it in the water. Right?
Right.
But it was then teleported to the other side of the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. Yeah. Using the technology available in 1940.
Brilliant.
But it just never caught on.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, I mean,
now,
who would want to travel from one side of the world to the other in a nanosecond?
I would.
Yeah, everybody would. Yeah. So perhaps the whole thing's
maybe
crap.
we should resurrect it. Launch a campaign.
No, that won't be necessary. I'm going to do this now, and then it's just getting so... It's a bit harem-scarum, but I know you'll be interested. And look, if I'm ever in any doubt, if I'm required to call upon my critical faculties and think, is this interesting, I just use Peter in Salford as a yardstick. So the next item is about the priming of steam railway engines at 1945 to 1960.
Oh, I can't wait.
Right, thank you. You have 2 minutes.
The £25,000 triple play. £25,000. 3 songs. 1 winner. Emma in Stockport. Hi, Emma.
Please tell me I'm caller 25.
Caller 25? You're £25,000 richer.
I love Key 103. They are absolutely fantastic. The best station I've ever heard of in my life.
Listen to Toolin in the morning, tomorrow from 8 a.m. for more chances to win.
Manchester's #1 hit music station, Key 103. So, will you pick sexy Salzburg, birthplace of Mozart and setting for the sound of music? Or would you rather Bratislava? She's a 24-hour city, but will you keep up? Or will you have a crack at Krakow? Beautiful by day, but what a sight by night. The choice is yours.
With Sky Europe Airlines, the choice is even easier. Just £25 each way, including taxes, can get you a date with these European cities, thanks to Central Europe's largest low-cost airline. Just visit skyeurope.com. Skyeurope.com. More Europe to discover. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, big boy. You're through to naughty but nice. Do you want to know what I'd like?
Yeah, go on. Tell me.
I'd love a big, hot, strong cup of coffee while I watch my favourite soap.
What? Oh.
Your mouth becomes surprisingly clean when you brush with an Oral-B cross-action toothbrush, as the criss-cross bristles remove up to 90% of plaque from between teeth. And if you buy one now, you'll get one free.
You still there, love?
Available at participating stores.
Maybe love. Maybe fun.
Maybe nights out. Maybe nights in.
Maybe romance. Maybe friendship.
Maybe something serious. Maybe just for laughs.
Maybefriends.co.uk.
Safe, secure and discerning. A new dating database has arrived in the Northwest.
Maybefriends.co.uk. Sign up now and registration is free.
Maybe it's exactly what you've been looking for.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, are you ready? Colin in Oldham, this is in answer to Peter's, probably the only case ever recorded of the question being much longer than the answer. Anyway, Colin in Oldham said, priming in steam engines is the carrying over of water with the steam from the boiler into the cylinder. Right, well, that's an answer. I don't follow it, but, you know, steam engines... Not my First World War tanks, yeah. But Spanner Swirly Flow says the following. Priming usually occurs because the fireman has not been paying attention and either letting the boiler overfill or putting on too much fire and creating excess steam. Oh, thank you. I've never understood that, how they know when to shovel coal in the thing. Anyway, this creates excess steam past the limit of the safety valves. There's a word there I can't even read. This is usually about £225 per square inch. Okay. Priming occurs when you exceed that pressure, thus causing the ear-splitting blowing off. Right, now you know something, you know quite a lot about that, don't you, I believe? And priming is excess water being blasted out of the exhaust pipe. Oh, God, I didn't know railway engines had an exhaust pipe. Usually in the station, oh, I see, and much to the chagrin of the station master, who would have to recompense anyone complaining of spoilt clothing. Oh, I see, so if you were, like, steamed as you stand there, it's a bit like briefly going through a car wash, I suppose. British Railways would and did pay the cleaning bills when priming occurred at stations. Oh, that's nice. Had an accident lately. Been primed. Well, thanks very much indeed. I suppose that's one of the very few occasions when knowing all that stuff comes in handy and doesn't make you like socially a figure of ridicule. Thank you. Look, Ron in Rochdale says, when you were asking for famous Rochdale people earlier, don't forget Bill Oddie and Don Estelle. Yeah, no, I wasn't asking for famous Rochdale. In fact, I was asking for anything but. In fact, I think I actually said I do not, under any circumstances, want this to turn into a list of famous people from Wigan, Rochdale, or anywhere for that matter, frankly. So there. More about Masquerade. Chris Mack in Leeds tells me for no good reason, except that it's quite funny at the end, this Laurel and Hardy did a tour of England in 1932 and played live at the Palace Theatre in Manchester in July of that year. That is true. Many local comedians have been highly influenced by their act, including the Neville brothers. Thank you. Look, Linda in Lee, it was not an appeal for famous local people. I said quite specifically, this is not just to be... Anyway, Georgie Fame is from Lee. Yes, of course he is. And so, I believe, is Nigel Short, but it doesn't matter. Sarah Wardle in Stockport says Ian McShane was born in Blackburn. Yes. Violet Carson did star in The Monkees, Bewitched, and virtually any other programme you can see at like 9 in the morning on Channel 4. Batman, remember Batman and the Girl from U.N.C.L.E. featuring Stephanie Powers. Okay, well, I'll have a look. It did, rather, there was an extraordinary... You see, this is the infuriating thing about this. Any Burke can forward a link to a website on imdb.com. And I know this for a fact because many Burkes do. But in a fast-moving radio studio like this, it's not helpful. Does that come out of your nose?
No, under the nail.
She's just found something unpleasant under her thumbnail, so she's wiped it on the on my pizza.
No, on the box.
Yeah, so I haven't really got time to make my way through several pages, or frames, or whatever they call them, of stuff, you see. So, no disrespect intended. Right. Now that does put me in mind of, listen to this. Yeah, don't want to, no, not interested in famous people, but here's one. The Brown Bess Musket, I must come back to that one. Why is a group of owls called a parliament? I don't know. But there is. This is Dave in Swinton. Oh, there are two here that are excellent. And I can't find one. Right. I know you love odd local facts, and this one is a cracker. Do you recall the TV series Space 1999? Yeah, well, this is another of those hopelessly optimistic views of the future, where 7 years ago we should have had a really well-established moon base by now, and all travelling about by jetpacks and moving through transparent plastic tubes to get to our place of work and what have you. But of course, none of that happens. Everyone still lives in a 100-year-old house with drafts blowing through it, trying to get a grant to insulate the roof. Anyway, the moon goes out of orbit and takes the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha with it. Right. Well, did you know that in the episode The Mark of Archernon, there's a scene where they're throwing a rugby ball about, and although they are thousands of miles away across space, they mention Swinton Rugby League Club.
No.
No, I am not having that. Unless there was somebody, like, involved who was from Swinton mixed up in it.
No way.
How about that? He said, I suspect it's the only time in science fiction history that a rugby league team gets mentioned, unless somebody knows better. Well, that's the sort of thing you can say, I think, with almost total confidence.
You wouldn't choose Swinton, would you, either?
Well, in their day, they were a big side. Things have gone downhill a bit since then, yeah. Salford and Swinton used to be, they used to get hundreds of thousands of people. Well, no, they used to get like 30,000 people used to go and watch Salford and Swinton.
Another famous person spotting on the text.
Well, we don't want any of that. I have been most specific, and I'm trying to find an enquiry here, which is, and you're being no help.
Sorry.
Frankly. That's the one. Where is it? Oh, I've lost it. This is very poor. You've amped already? No. Anyway, the inquiry was about a TV series which had the goodies in it and Michael Palin and Eric Idle out of Monty Python. And it was in... Where is it? I can't find it now.
Yeah, you're doing the man thing where you're not looking properly.
I printed it off somewhere. Anyway, look, I can help you with this one. There are a couple of things. There was a... Can you find it, please? Quickly. Send it up to my office.
Here, give me that.
No, it's...
This is brilliant radio, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I've done that
I have
one.
to remember to take this off the logs for the Sony's.
It's certainly a best of.
Mm.
Yeah, there's the one about... Anyway, I can almost recall it.
Dunno. Are
Right.
you sure you printed it off?
Yeah, absolutely. You've probably used it to wipe something. So, now there are two things. There was a series which had a lot of people used to, before they formed into the things that they're remembered for. A lot of people used to dodge around amongst all different shows. And there's a thing called At Last the 1948 Show, which had John Cleese was in that.
Yeah.
And Marty Feldman.
Right.
People like that. But there was also a kids show called Do Not Adjust Your Set.
I've heard of that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that's crap now, doesn't it? Right, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is going to be zany. But it seemed like it at the time. And in that were... Certainly Michael Palin and Eric Idle were in that. And halfway through, there would be music from the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, who were fantastic. And I think it was on that. You know the sketch, Me Doctor, You Nurse, that one.
Yeah.
That was first done People think that was Monty Python that did that, but it was first done on Do Not Adjust Your Set. And apparently on, I think it was at last the 1948 show, that's where the Four Yorkshiremen was first done.
Was it?
Yeah. But then Monty Python did it. Somebody wrote it. I mean, they all used to write stuff for each other and what have you.
Wasn't that initially done on the stage?
It was done on the stage, but it was first done on telly on at last the 1948 show.
And then on the stage, and then on Monty Python?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm not 100% sure about that.
Because it wasn't John Cleese who did it. Am I right in saying it wasn't him who did it originally? It was someone else, and they.
Oh, all sorts of people have been in it over the. I think Tim Brooke Taylor's been in it at one point.
Because I remember watching a programme, and I'm sure he said, it wasn't ours originally. It was someone else's, and they nicked it.
Well, it's the sort of routine that everyone used to do it.
Yeah, but they were famous for doing it, weren't they?
I can't remember.
John Cleese and the rest of it.
I think so, but anyway.
Python.
Yeah, Johnny Salver said that's right. Do you know this famous local people thing you're doing tonight? I am not!
What's the email you after?
The one that I've just said about...
Oh,
yeah,
right.
That one. God blimey. Anyway, listen. Weren't the Goodies from round here somewhere? I'm sure they're local lads. Well, yeah, Bill Oddie is supposedly from Rochdale, isn't he? And Tim Brooke Taylor, famously, I think, is from Buxton. Graham Garden. I couldn't tell you where he's from, to be honest. Not for a million years. Right. Spanner Swirly Flow said, just to clear up any confusion. I should have added, it is also sometimes caused by stuff in the water. That shows that priming can be caused by several factors. Actually, it is usually the result of a dozy fireman. Thank you. Spanner Swirly Flow. Right, thank you. Right. Oh dear. Something about the Richter scale, don't understand that. This is rubbish. Anyway, Steve Broadhurst in Swinton says, talking of films shot around Manchester, which were not, the best was A Taste of Honey with Rita Tushingham, great shots of Barton Bridge and the ship...
We've talked about this before, haven't we? This rings a bell. Sorry, go on.
Great shots of Barton Bridge and the Ship Canal. Does anyone remember the Bergen's ice cream van that was drawn by a horse in Salford? Where was the horse kept? And does anyone remember the horse's name? It was White, if I remember correctly. What do you mean the horse's name? Anyway... Moira in Ancoats. Oh, this is just degenerating into it. Right, the actress with Richard Beckinsale in the film The Lovers was Paula Wilcox. I think she comes from Salford. God, what's that red light mean? Are we... My God, we're going to crash. I'm not having this. I'm not having people claiming that everybody... I'm not looking for famous locals. Cut it out. Wasn't Robin Asquith from round here? I've no idea. Look. Okay. We're in Johnny Briggs territory now. Right. Jackie in Pendlebury says, as you seem to be doing famous people tonight... Don't forget the great actor Sir Rex Harrison. Oh, God, please help me. He came from the northwest, but I'm not sure where exactly. I hope this helps. Well, no, it quite clearly doesn't help, does it? Thank you. Right. And John in Salford. That thing about Swinton being mentioned in Space 1999 is perfectly true. They're throwing a rugby ball about, trying to teach this alien some rugby moves, etc. Are you sure? I mean, my first reaction would be that this would be American football that they would be doing. But anyway, John insists that they do mention Swinton. I have got to see this, right? And John says that's one thing Wigan have never achieved. No, quite so. Right. Right, I really must... That is worth getting, that. That's worth, actually, having a route round. I'll get on eBay. I don't know how that'll sort things out, but it seems to be the thing to do in most cases. Salford City Reds FC featured in the film A Bug's Life. Did they? Right. Now, and then near that, we've got something which is dangerously like the original purpose of this broadcast, which has rather disconcerted me. Right. Whilst looking at a beautiful blue sky the other day, I wondered why blue and not some other colour. If this is a stupid question that everybody else knows, I apologise. Well, there's no need to. It's all to do with the refraction of light and diffusion and this, that and the other of the atmosphere. Broadly speaking. That's close enough for science. Martin Bagley, he's a scientist. Are you a scientist?
No, I'm a mathematician, Ducky.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a list of 500 people here, famous people who come from Manchester.
Look, don't do this.
Oh, by the way, did you know that Lee RMI is mentioned in Bequest to the Nation with Peter Finch and Glenda Jackson?
Are you sure about this?
Oh, yes.
No,
oh, yes, indeed.
Oh,
yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm turning into Derek Garver.
No, look.
You can't put one over on an old desert grass, you know. Oh, no.
I've got to... I don't know whether it's safe to say this. Oh, look. I have to be careful what I say. Because... Yeah. But there is a bloke... I'm chancing that he's not listening. There is a bloke who lives not exactly across the road from me, but not a little bit across the road and down... anyway, who looks exactly like the bulldog off the Churchill advert.
Surely not.
Yeah, he looks like him. And he speaks like him.
Have you not noticed that, used to play Toya Battersby in Coronation Street? She looks exactly like the bulldog.
Oh,
how's that?
Yes, I suppose it might be something what you say.
Hang on a minute, I can hear a merry band of comical 60s troubadours coming down the road.
Hi there, nice to be with you. Happy to stick around. I'd like to introduce Lex Larry Smith, drums. Sam Spoons, rhythm pole. Vern Dudley,
Billy Bohay, no, bass guitar.
Boom, boom, boom. And Neil Innes, piano. Come in, Rodney Slater on the saxophone.
Hey.
Yeah?
Adolf Hitler on vibes.
Yeah. Sam Spoon's rhythm pole.
Oh, Dudley Bohay, no. Anyway,
that's called the intro and the outro.
Sorry. Yeah, the intro and the outro, yeah. Actually, there's another one on this.
What's that you've got there?
It's, I'm going to send it to you, actually. It's a really useless Reader's Digest 5 CD set of comedy songs that I picked up at a car boot sale.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
What?
Industrial relations in the 1960s.
Bernard Cribbins.
All in the ground.
Quite enough of that, Bernard.
Yeah, and what's even worse is he was from Oldham.
Was it? Oh, right, yes.
Don't do this. You're not helping.
Hey, Eric Sykes was from Oldham.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Right, anyway, this Masquerade book, yes.
Yeah.
Further to what the other chap said.
Yes.
I had my thumb done well and feel stolen on that one, because I thought I was the only person who actually owned a copy of this book. But I think it was published in '79, and it was a very strange-looking bloke. He looked a bit like a sort of David Blunkett, but he was almost totally blind, this chap, Kit Williams. And he had eyes that were sort of,
didn't agree with each other. He was the kind of person who could look round corners without actually moving his head, you know.
Yeah, I think the expression is skinned like a basket of whelks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the other way.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, it's funny.
10 to 2 hours.
Yeah, because we were talking about Marty Feldman just a few moments ago.
You did, yes, yeah. That was Graham Chapman was in that as well, the 1948 show.
Yeah.
Tim Brooke Taylor.
Yes.
Anyway, it took 5 years.
You're going to have to do something about this phone. What are you doing with your phone?
Why, what's wrong with it?
You keep coming and going.
Oh, right. Hang on, am I better now?
Yes.
Right, okay. I think it's interference, you know, from this radio.
Oh, no, it's probably aliens, mate, or the Americans or something.
Well, somebody will phone up and tell you about that. Anyway, the book sold 450,000 copies, and I think it was about, it was 25 quid a pop.
God blimey.
So they made 11 million quid, so giving away a £25,000 golden hair was pretty sort of small beer, really, you know. It was finally dug up outside Tewkesbury Abbey in about 1984.
Oh, right, was it?
Quite rightly, the chap said that I think it was an ex-girlfriend of the author had something to do with digging it up, so you know it stunk to high heaven, basically.
Oh, right.
And you mentioned in En Passant,
yes,
this plane that could fly around the world in 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
Now, that was a British design. It was called HOTOL. Horizontal takeoff and landing, I think it was called.
Well, I would hope it is horizontal.
Yeah, but it was a 20...
I'd hate to do a vertical landing.
Well, no, yeah, but anyway, it would have cost £20 billion to develop.
Yeah.
And as you remember, we got our fingers burned quite badly by the blue streak, didn't we?
Yeah, well, that's our own fault for going near it. It said, do not walk under unsupported body.
Yeah.
Do not touch. Yeah.
And you know that other thing that people do where they raise their voice, you know, and they kind of go like that.
Oh, God!
Like that. It's called AQI, Australian Question Intonation.
Is it?
It certainly is. Yes.
But people do it all the time. I'm not. Yeah. Some people now.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
No, well, I know, but we.
Oh, hang on. Come in, Reykjavik. Go on, you can go on now.
Right.
People are doing it more, and it's just so not annoying, isn't it?
Exactly.
All these, proto-friends phrases that people are using, it's quite nauseating.
And it implies that you don't understand really anything they say.
No.
That nothing, you've never heard of like a paper plate, for example. So he puts his stuff on a paper plate. Yeah, I know what a paper plate is. Yeah.
And it was just so embarrassing.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, there again, if it's Australian question intonation, that does imply that the population of that arid wilderness is thick, and they probably are. So, but, anyway. Oh, by the way, can you ask Jackie to come into the studio?
Oh, God.
And could you ask her to say the words 6th and 8th?
Yes.
Because I think she's got a little problem with her sibilance, in which case she needs to use a bit of Emac. But,
right. Oh.
You asked her to come in?
On this occasion, she seems to be listening to what's going on. Chance in a million. Yeah. Hello there.
Hello.
Mark wants a word with you.
Go on.
Hi, Jax.
Hello.
Could you say the word...
Hi, Jax. Where? Don't ever do that again. You could get thrown in prison for that.
Sorry.
In fact, you're lucky you haven't been shot.
Oh, no.
By an alert police officer.
Yeah, or an air marshal.
Yeah.
Could you say the word...
Dear me.
Could you say the word 6th, Jackie?
6.
6th.
What's he asking?
You can hear him as well as I can.
6. Oh, she has. She's got a problem. Say 8.
Say what?
8.
Say what?
8.
No. 8.
What? 8.
First, second, third.
Oh.
Come on, use your ordinals and your cardinals.
Yes.
8th.
Oh, she has, hasn't she?
What?
What?
You got a problem with your sibilants. You can't do the. You can't do the.
Hey.
It trails away, doesn't it?
I don't know what's going on, but I mean, clearly, I mean, it hasn't stopped Ben Fogle's career, has it?
It certainly hasn't.
Don't speak like that.
I'm speaking like that. Hello.
Hello. No, this is rubbish. This is like. It's like talking to.
This is written. This.
What's his name in the radio? Ron Grainer in the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. Right, now listen. And apparently the Doctor Who theme wasn't written by Ron Grainer at all.
No, it was Ron Goodwin.
Matt, do you think I've got a speech impediment?
I certainly don't think you've got a speech impediment, darling, but I think you can't say you're thicker than your 8. So.
Right. I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Oh, I don't want to give you a complex.
Oh, right.
No.
Why didn't you just go on radio then and tell everyone I've got a speech impediment?
Listen, hold it. Hold everything. Paul...
Yeah, hold it perfect, you know.
Well, while you're doing that...
Yeah.
Paul in Oldham says, I have got, and this is the sort of person we attract, I have got Space 1999 on tape.
Oh, God.
And there is an episode called The Mark of Archinen. Australian actor Nick Tate refers to the rugby ball as having come from Swinton Rugby Club
That's got to be somebody who works for Jerry Anderson.
Yeah. In 1964. Well, they were a good side in 1964, Swinton. He explains this to a very puzzled alien. That they had probably, and I say probably, never heard of Swinton in that part of the galaxy.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Who'd have thought that when that was made in 1974, that, in 1999, we'd all be walking around wearing crimpling flares?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Who'd have thought in 2006 we were talking about it?
No, I know. Yeah. And you can't play that anymore, can you? That 1999 by Prince. Can't play that anymore.
No.
Can't play Disco 2000 by Pulp anymore.
No.
You can if you want.
Well, you can if you want.
Just like a bit of a lemon.
Yeah.
Can't play Under the Moon of Love by Shawaddy Waddy.
Oh, you can.
Oh, yeah, I quite
like it. It's a timeless classic.
Yeah.
Right. You can't play much by Gary Glitter, can you?
I'm just trying to remember why you rang, Matt. What was...
Well, I've answered 4 questions. I've answered 4 questions there.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, about the Golden Rabbit and...
Is there a pub in Manchester called the Gary Glitter? Because a friend of mine keeps coming round and saying that he's going to take me up the Gary Glitter. I
would have thought... Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
I knew that off Mrs. Merton, and you nicked that joke off me before and all that pole vaulter thing, and at least I had the good grace to say that I'd nicked it off Chick Murray. So no more of you moaning about Dave Spikey nicking jokes off you.
Well, look, let's look at it this way. I'm a member.
You're on the radio and you can cut me off whenever you like.
Yeah, I know. Don't think it hasn't crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I'm a member of Friends of the Joke.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Is it like the English heritage type sort of thing?
It's it, yeah. Well, it's never, never throw a joke away and reuse it if possible.
Share and share alike.
Yeah. It's only £12 a year.
Yeah.
And, so the idea is that, jokes you just keep, recycling them. So Gary Burt steals them off me.
Yeah.
I steal them off you. Oh. How was this? And so on, and they all just keep going round. So thank you very much indeed. Right.
Yeah.
Is it just one membership, £12, or is it like sliding scale?
No, it's £12 a year, flat rate.
You cut me off yet?
No, but I can do if you want.
No. I want you to do a little sing-along now. Because I've got something here that you, I think you appeared in, didn't you?
Are you going to finish with a song?
Well, I finish with a song, yeah. Now a song, right, so I've just got to cue it up, won't be long. Right, so you've got to sing along to this, James. You ready?
Yeah.
Is it
One thing counts in the bank, large amounts. I'm afraid these don't grow on trees. You've got to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two, boys. You've got to pick a pocket or two. Grow on trees. You've got to pick a pocket or two.
Hey, this is live radio. This.
Hey.
This is live radio. This. You can't get better than this.
A lot of people would disagree with you. Martin Bagley, thank you very much indeed. I think we probably have to log that, don't we? Make sure Lionel Bart gets his... the estate of Lionel Bart receives fortums for it or something.
I need a drink.
Or we could just lie. OK, then. Right, it's... what time is it? 18 minutes past midnight. Who would have thought it? I'm in terrible pain with this pizza. Therefore, this might help. Not much, but it might help. 0161 288 0103 is... we are still, believe it or not, technically... in queries and theories territory. So what have we sorted out so far? I'll tell you what we've done in a minute or two, because I need to find the piece of paper, because I think it might be being used to mop up some pineapple juice, possibly. Anyway, I'll inquire into that and see if my ad-libs are written down on the back of it. 0161 288 0103, the number which puts you on key 103, and we still have 40 minutes or so, during which time we can unravel some more seemingly unfathomable mysteries. But they only seem that way until James H. Reeve and his worldwide crew of little helpers get stuck into them. Thank you.
The £25,000 triple play. £25,000. 3 songs. 1 winner. Emma in Stockport. Hi, Emma.
Please tell me I'm caller 25.
Caller 25? You're £25,000 richer.
I love Key 103. They are absolutely fantastic. The best station I've ever heard of in my life.
Listen to Tillin in the morning. This morning from 8 a.m. for more chances to win.
Manchester's #1 hit music station. Key 103.
Key 103 and Nokia Rock Up and Play, bringing people together to share and enjoy upcoming music talent. Listen to Debbie Mack from 7 p.m. this week for a chance to win Carling Weekend Leeds Festival tickets and a Nokia 3250. Plus, get to Jabez Clegg on June 13. Local bands and DJs and Nokia's Rock Up and Play stage, with a chance for any band to rock up and show off their talent. Nokia, sharing your passion for music on Key 103.
This is the Stories' self-titled album. Wonderful songs and instinctively beautiful harmonies. An incredibly accomplished debut album. Includes the singles Be By Your Side and Cinnamon. A band with live performances not to be missed. Catch the Stories on the road with Elton John this summer. The Stories album is a perfectly polished J. It's out now.
Darling,
Yeah?
I've been thinking about what to do with a spare room.
That is so weird, so have I. What do you think then, pink or blue, or should we just play it safe with yellow? I tell you, a cot will look so cute next to the window.
Yeah, I was thinking more of a snooker table.
Right.
Feeling broody? It's time to go on the pill. Sanatogen Pronatal is a multivitamin and mineral supplement with folic acid that's scientifically proven to ensure you get the important vitamins and minerals you may need before and during your pregnancy. Sanatogen Pronatal.
Darling!
Yes?
Did you know that money was invented here in Turkey?
Really?
Yes, around 640 BC.
Well, do you think you could invent some more money for me? It looks like they invented shopping too.
Turkey, the Mediterranean, and more.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, in the midst of all this, I think we've overlooked some of the important text messages which have come in. I do try to. If you cast your mind back, we were... somebody said they'd been to Eccles, and it was rather disappointed to see all the chewing gum outside the Metrolink station. And we're pointing out that since we've mentioned on a number of occasions tonight the films that have been made, look, it was just one of those things. But anyway, Baz says maybe the stars, the film stars, could leave their handprints in the chewing gum. Oh, yeah. Right, that'd save you having to steam it off the pavement.
Yeah.
And those blokes who do it in the middle of the night. Right, good idea that. Yeah. A man walks into his bedroom with a sheep under his arm and his wife's in bed, and he says, "There's that pig I sleep with." She says, "It's not a pig, it's a sheep." He said, "I was talking to the sheep." That's tripe, that, isn't it? Yeah. Storm Chaser says there's going to be earthquake. Well, I can tell you, madam, don't worry. I'd like to know that Noggin the Nog is on. Have we done that one? Yeah. Look, Mendel Picnic. Look, it was Mendel Picnic. Look, it was just a joke. I don't know. It's kosher butchers on Berry New. It's just I just made it up. I know. Yeah, there probably is one, right? And Satanist Bastard has. I've had a number of inquiries about this, all from the same person. And this is the theory that some miners somewhere, was it in Siberia, found this fissure and didn't know what was going on, so they dropped a stone down it and didn't hear anything. So, or were they drilling for oil or something like that? Obviously, it's all complete eyewash. So, they did the next best and most obvious thing to do, which is lowered a microphone down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have done that first.
On the end of a very, very, very long cable. And whoever it is who keeps mithering me to do this says that they could hear wailing and screaming, and so they'd quite obviously found hell.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So well, we know where it is now. Thank you. So he says you can find it on the internet. Well, I've tried to, but I can't find it. So if you know so much, then send us the details. Send us the email address, and I'll the website, and I will find it, and we'll play it. Right. Your singing is on a par with Jeremy Hardy. Right, listen, you. Listen, Mr. Never Done a Tap. I'll tell you something. Ron Moody learnt the part of Fagin, and he got 40 years out of it. He got a career and a sizable fortune out of it. And just when people were saying, I wonder is Ron Moody still alive, he came back and did it again. I learnt the whole bloody lot, the entire part of Fagin, for one bloody performance.
Where were you doing it?
At the Junior Blues Christmas Pantomime.
Oh.
And I was brilliant.
I'm sure you were.
The East Manchester Reporter gave me rave reviews.
Oh.
And I was highly spoken of in the programme the following Saturday.
Did you frame it, the review?
I've got it in me, I've got a book of
a scrapbook.
Yeah, just go through them. That's me. That's me and Ken Barlow. That sort of thing. Yeah. Right. So, thanks very much indeed, pal. If you can do any better, right? Thanks. The Derek Geiler impression was excellent, says Carl in Whitefield. More, please. He actually says encore, but he's just showing off, right? And what you just said about my Churchill... I live on Sedgley Park Road. I'm always listening. No, it's not you. The fella around the corner. Right. Oh, yes. He does, though. He goes,
oh, yes.
I do. Well, not so good. Not so good. Oh, no. It's like that. And his jowls move in the same. I can't keep me... I struggle to keep my face straight.
Yeah, but it's difficult.
Yeah. I keep wanting to ask him insurance-related questions. Right.
The dog doesn't answer any.
Listen, dog, no, his dog died. It's
No, the Churchill dog.
What?
Doesn't answer any insurance questions.
Yes,
It's just a gimmick on the advert. The dog won't tell you anything.
I've seen it.
The dog won't give you a quote.
Oh no, he's just like PR, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
what
dog.
I mean,
yeah. Oh, the dog won't actually give you a. Yeah. No.
We haven't got dogs on the end of the phones, and no.
No. No.
That'd be ridiculous.
No. Unlike here. And so, I think we're going to.
That was below the belt.
Christine Bloomer in Eccles, the home of Eccles Cakes and Chewing Gum, says, James, I think it's great that you have dedicated the show to famous Mancunians and to films recorded in Manchester. Somebody asked which part of Manchester Maggie Philbin was from. She's from Failsworth, but she's lived in Berkshire for the last 20 years. I have been to Failsworth, and I fully understand. Right. Linda in Lee says, Rex Harrison was born on Merseyside. Technically not a local then. Right. And, oh, look, there is nothing, it is not a famous Mancunians and films shot in Manchester thing. Right. Thank you. And you can get Hell is a City on DVD for £5.99 or in Woolworths for £7.99. Right. Linda in Lee says, why are you having a tantrum about famous people? That's rich coming from you, when you'll be shoving that phony psychic onto us again shortly. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in about 22 hours' time, I would have said, wouldn't you? Yeah. Yes. Give the people what they want. What? Well, you see, Linda, I do hate this having one-way conversations with people. It's crap. The startling impression that the impression I've formed to my own startitude is this.
Is that a word?
Yeah. Oh yes. If I use it.
Oh yes.
It will be. Is that the people appear to want lots of Gary Dakin, because despite the fact that armed men are roaming the streets of our city, shooting people, that our government has deceitfully led us into a war which has resulted in the deaths of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of innocent people. And need I go on? Just say we've got a psychic on, and everyone goes, oh, brilliant, I must ring up. So,
and you're lucky, really, because Gary has been pushing for a while now to come on fortnightly.
Fortnightly, well, yeah. And then...
we've been keeping him at bay.
Then weekly. And he's eventually actually suggested doing a spot each night.
And I know you want him to do that.
I do, certainly I do, obviously, yeah. In fact...
No.
No, okay. Right. And I learn also that not only do people steal gags from people, but people steal programming ideas from people.
Ah.
Oh well. Right, listen to this. Did I do that recap?
No.
No. No, I never thought. Right, okay, here we go.
Key 103.
The conventional wisdom is to remortgage every couple of years. But when you add up how much that'll cost in fees every time, maybe it's not such a wise move. Here's an idea. Abbey's Flexible Plus Mortgage. Because it's guaranteed to always track just above the base rate, you get a great deal for the life of the mortgage, so you'll never want to remortgage again. To find out more, call Abbey on 0800 80 80 80, visit abbey.com or your local branch. It could be the wisest move you'll ever make. Abbey, more ideas for your money.
10% deposit, £599 booking fee, 0.49% above Bank of England base rate. The overall cost for comparison is 5.2% APR, calls recorded.
Okay, this is Mike. He's new to the group. Mike?
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm Mike, and I'm an investment banker. Yeah, I've been a banker for 12 years now, but I've never really liked it, so I'm determined to quit this time.
If you don't like your job, do something about it. Society Guardian Live is at Manchester's GMEX on June the 7th and 8th, with careers in public services and the voluntary sector. Visit societyguardian.co.uk/live.
Okay, give me the results.
Tractor production, down. Beetroot yield, down. Cabbage...
Enough! Why are they so lazy?
We suspect Monarch's revolutionary bargain hunter service, sir.
Ah, yes, where you can find all their cheapest fares. Not that I would use such a decadent service.
Oh, of course not, sir. Nor enjoy the extras like allocated seating and free newspapers.
What? The salt mines need more people, you know.
Bargain hunt your breaks at flymonarch.com.
Yes! No, offside, no goal. What did you say, Reeve? You were offside, number 9, and the linesman flagged. The goal doesn't stand.
Oh, you fair-minded and sensible man. Good decision.
Sorry?
Your mouth becomes surprisingly clean when you brush with an Oral-B cross-action toothbrush, as the criss-cross bristles remove up to 90% of plaque from between teeth. And if you buy one now, you'll get one free.
I'm so pleased you take a balanced view, Reeve. Okay.
Available at participating stores.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, as things stand, what we've managed to establish this evening is, and I'm going to inflict a bit more of it on you shortly, is that we did find out all the business about the golden hair, didn't we? The novel Masquerade.
Yeah.
Which was seemed to be a bit of a marketing exercise, which paid off handsomely.
Why we say things have gone pear-shaped.
We have done that, yes. That's to do with, I would think...
Aviation.
Aviation of one kind or another. I lean towards ballooning, myself.
Mm.
Right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm.
And, who was it? You know, why is it called a knocking shop?
Peter in Salford.
Was it?
Yeah.
We are trying to raise the tone a little bit here. Priming. Steam engines not working properly. That's what that turned out to be. And...
Oh, I'm surprised more people haven't come forward about why knocking shops are called so.
Yeah, well, they're probably busy.
Mm.
And we did establish that Liza Minnelli appeared with Albert Finney, and, oh, here we are, and in the film Charlie Bubbles, certain parts of which featured Manchester. And obviously, I'm not falling for this. You see, because I am now learning when you are getting me at it. Thank you. Because, right.
You're getting wound up, aren't you?
Well, you see, you've only got to suggest something, and the people here, I feel, are deliberately mischievous. Yes. Hang on. I thought there was an example of the genre there. But no, something about a brilliant idea. Oh, and Paul in Bredbury says, you were asking about Robin Asquith earlier. No, I wasn't. I was not. He's not really local. He was born in Southport. Oh, right. Graham Garden, the third goodie, was Scottish. He came from Aberdeen originally. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, there we are. Right. Charlie Bubbles, Albert Finney, OK, mainly Salford, Edward Avenue, says Ali Wogden. Edward Avenue is, yeah, that's right, they're not far from there, right? And?
What?
Oh, no, okay, right. Thank you. And Dorman has texted and he says, don't ridicule what you don't understand. Oh, here we go. There is a 40-foot stone owl at Bohemian Grove where the leaders meet up to do weird stuff. Look at Big Ben. No matter what way you look at it, it's a big owl watching over the people. Out. That's him signing off, you see. Right. Oh, no. Oh, Paula Wilcox is from Chorlton. Oh, dear me, I don't care. She's my second cousin. Oh, I'm not interested. This is not This
Well,
isn't...
there are loads of people from Manchester, aren't there?
Yes, but this is not the point. I was quite determined that this would not become an exercise in name famous people. We've got the world at our disposal here. This was absolutely not the object of the exercise. Nor do you remember a detective series from the 1970s with...
Don't say it, because you'll...
Hilda Baker.
You'll start one off.
Right. Anyway, talking of psychics, my T-shirt's got medium printed on the label. Does that make me a clairvoyant?
It
No.
certainly does.
No, it makes you a purveyor of rubbish, feeble gags. And there's only room for so many of us in this world. So cut it out. Where were we? I can't remember now. Doomed, I think that's the expression. As you seem to be doing famous people tonight, it's a great idea. Oh, shut up. Thank you. Anyway, this is the point. Sarah Wardle in Stockport says, the Richter scale was developed in 1935 by American seismologists. This is all to do with someone who emailed in, like people do, earlier, saying, what's the Richter scale? What is a Richter? And where can I get one from? Or something like that. He says, anyway, the Richter scale was developed in 1935 by American seismologist Charles Richter, who lived till 1989, as a matter of fact, as a way of quantifying the magnitude or strength of earthquakes. Richter, who was studying earthquakes in California at the time, that'd be a good place to study them, wouldn't it, of course, needed a simple way to express precisely what is qualitatively obvious. Some earthquakes are small and others are large. Regards, Sarah. Thank you very much indeed, Sarah. That clarifies matters immensely. And it puts me in mind, can you find this?
What?
There's some connection with Milnrow, which I'll read out if I can find it.
Do you want me to do it?
No.
You just asked me to. Pass me the thing.
No, it's all right.
Oh.
No. My aunt's called Clairvoyant. And she's a large. Right. James, Dave in Wigan. Why do they call the flight recorder on aircraft the black box when it is orange?
Is it orange?
Yeah.
Alright.
Go on.
Well, the thing with these black boxes, I mean, I'm sure it has been said before, is that they're indestructible, aren't they?
Yeah.
So why don't they make the whole airplane out of what they make those out of?
That'd be so funny if only you hadn't said airplane. Do you want to know why?
Go on.
Because it's always been orange. It's always been orange.
Right.
Because it makes it easy to find in snow and all that sort of thing.
Mm.
Why do you think it's called a black box?
Dunno.
Why do you think it's called a Bunsen burner?
Dunno.
Why do you think it's called a Davy lamp?
Dunno. Is there a connection to all these?
Yeah. Who invented the Bunsen burner?
Mr. Bunsen. Mr. Black.
It was invented by a bloke called Black, yeah. It's a black box.
There you go.
I understand some ladies call their, the tuppence.
The what?
The tuppence.
Tuppence?
Yeah. Front bum.
Right.
Right. They call it the flight recorder.
Do they?
Yeah.
Right. That's rubbish.
Have you...
Who told you that?
I was told. Have you ever heard of the golden...
By your mate in the pub?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's rubbish.
That's where I get... You'll be surprised. Have you ever heard of the golden rivet? Yes. It's an old... I'm an old naval man, right?
Golden rivet, though.
Yeah. No, but listen. There's the... not a golden rabbit.
No.
Right. We cannot find the voices of hell But I would add that that there is no
It'll
such
be just
thing.
someone going.
Yeah, perhaps as convincingly as that. Who knows? Right. Rabbit in Middleton says the steam train question. They had to build the steam engine speed up gradually, hence they let off excess steam. That's called priming. Okay, we're more or less getting there. Right. Now this is the one. I don't know whether this is true or not, but Chris in Middleton says the Richter scale was developed by a professor called John Milne from Rochdale, who was a seismologist. I don't know anything about this. And Milnrow was named after him. That is worthy of further investigation. Of course, if it's a practical joke...
I don't think that's true.
If it's a prank or jape, then, phew.
You had us.
You'll feel the rough side of my tongue. Right. Anyway, but I trust him implicitly because he ends by saying cheery bye. Which has won me over completely. Right. Richter was a bit of a stud in the Middle Ages who made the earth move. And that's from Penny Fortham. Penny Fortham. Shut up. James, I have just received a message off a friend informing that Rooney will start at the World Cup. Can you confirm this? Oh, I'll do it. Hang on.
No, he won't.
Ring Wayne.
Yeah, okay.
He'll be alright. He'll still be up.
I'll ring Colleen and I know her.
Yeah.
Better than I do
Yeah.
Wayne.
Yeah, righto.
I went shopping with her at the weekend.
Okay. Bloody hell you didn't, did you?
Well, she did all the shopping.
And the thing's moved again now, so I can't find it. But we're on the point of discovering something interesting there.
There you go.
Right, we are. Right. Ian McShane lived on Lostock Road in Davyhulme for a time. He used to open local school fetes and so on. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Right. Ian McShane was the original bungle in the phenomenal early 80s children's television programme Rainbow. No. You see, we're in that kind of territory now where you don't entirely know what to believe. Right? We never found out whether Mystic Meg worked in Boots on Market Street. Ian McShane was from Eccles. Oh, no, he wasn't. No, I don't think so. Oh, and here we go. Look. Have you heard of the underground roads in Manchester and how complexed are they? Ooh, very complexed. But look, what you need to do, Sunshine, whoever you are, we don't know who you are, we know what you are, but if you go to the website, which is key103.co.uk, and you will find on the James H. Reeve chapter, you will find a link explaining all about the tunnels under Manchester and what they're all about and why they're there and what state they're in. You can't go down them, actually. Well, you might do if you got like permission and it was all official. You can't have a wander about. Right. Talking about film mistakes. We weren't actually, were we? But if you have a look at, talking about those mementos. Check out Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. When Theoden rides out down the causeway, the horsemen at the back are slashing at nothingness. Play it in slow-mo. Slashing at nothingness. Sounds like the title of a Ozzy Osbourne album, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, slash it. Oh, no, that'd be slashing in the sink. And a long time ago, someone sent the following cryptic message. The Skin Hospital was on Key Street. Yes, I think it was now. So, yeah, and I am actually certain that is where the fight in Hell is a City with Stanley Baker, I'm sure that's where the fight took place at the end of the film. But there we are, right. Okay. That's the best I can do.
Go to the top now, because there's some new ones.
Is there?
Yeah.
Right. Hang on. Alan Wogden says, you lost your virginity in Edward Avenue within spitting distance of De La Salle Catholic Institution. No, it wasn't actually in Edward Avenue. If you remember, there was a croft next to it. Thank you. Right. Oh, right.
That's nice, isn't it?
I hope you die of cancer. Then Key 103 will regain the worthy reputation it once had, you boring bastard. Well, that's not very nice, is it?
No.
Especially 0776 5202 76. Oh dear. Right.
James, do silverfish have eyes?
I'll repeat that. Where are we? Was David Lloyd George born in Manchester or just brought up there? I think he was just... Oh, I think he was... David Lloyd George, we've done this before as well, haven't we? I think he was actually born in Manchester, but almost immediately went back to Wales. I think he was brought up... I think he was actually brought up in Wales. In fact, I think his parents were Welsh. We've done this, haven't we? I think his parents came here to work, and he was born here, but they went back to Wales, so he's only Mancunian on paper. Same as Robert Peel, he's only from Bury on paper. He got out there as soon as he could. I thought the Golden Rabbit was a non-doctor deluxe type vibrator with rabbit ears.
No, that's the Rampant Rabbit.
Is it?
Yes.
There we are. It's funny how you blurt these things out. And, James, what happened? Nigel and Jimmy in Openshaw. Do you know, it's funny. I wonder about this myself. What happened to the end is nigh placard merchants who used to loiter around football grounds, Main Road in particular? Yeah. Well, it looks, I'm sorry to say this,
I think they've moved to Market Street, haven't they?
I don't know, there was one but always used to wear a bowler hat and sandwich boards.
You don't get people wearing sandwich boards anymore, do you?
No, it's only a matter of time. In the, as we export all our jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nigel and Jimmy, all I can say is, obviously, in the case of some of them, they were right.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they've gone to for alternative recruitment. But yeah, he used to get the same abuse every home match from people who all thought they were the first person to say it. Right. A bit like this, and took it in his stride, and was saying Christmas is coming, and it's not all crackers. He said, to which the congregation replied. So that I don't know actually. Not seen that merchant for a long time. Merchant, that's a lovely expression, right? Here we are. Jack in Stockport said John Milne, along with two other British scientists, assisted Mr. Charles Richter in developing the Richter scale. Milne played a key role measuring ground movement and set the building blocks for the scale itself. Well, thank you, Jack. That's most useful and informative. Infotainment. Mike Adam in Gainsborough says, James, I'm not too sure about knocking shops, but we could mention knockers, a mild vulgarism for breasts and used in British music hall song Knock us up, ladies, knock us up. Right.
I don't think it's called that because of knocking shop. If you think about...
Well, hang on.
Difficult to...
You know that old saying of mine, if in doubt, read the instructions? If all else fails, read the instructions. I'll just complete this.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a little embarrassed to admit I did a word search through the text of Fanny Hill, wondering if knock might turn up. It does, but it's always to do with doors. Cheers, mate. Right. Yeah, okay then. So thanks very much indeed. Right. Oh! Can we do that one?
No. You can do the first
Okay.
bit.
There is a sealed-off entrance to the Cold War tunnels near your building. Right. Do you mean there was one? See, people do get out of touch. I don't know whether you mean the old building or the new building. There was one off York Street, I think. I don't think there's one near here. But anyway, this is from Satanist. Right. Anyway, go to the website, key103.co.uk, find James H. Reeve, and you'll find a link to, I think there's 2 websites there, about the tunnels under the city centre, Manchester, right? Okay. I will find the voices of hell for you to prove them. You git. Right. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks. And, James, do silverfish have eyes? I would have imagined so.
Yeah, they will.
By silverfish. See, this is what makes this method of communication so difficult. In that I've no idea what you mean there, and if I ask a question, it costs you 25 pence and takes a long time. It's like having a conversation with someone on a mission to Mars. You know what I mean? You ask them a question, and it takes 2 hours for the information to get there and back. But if by silverfish you mean those things that live under the lino in the toilet, I believe, then I would have thought they would have eyes, because otherwise, they wouldn't be able to see where they were going, which is a very good reason for having eyes, I find. Thank you. So there. The thing is, if I could get hold of him on 841286432, I mean, I would. See, I did that because then that way I haven't really given the number away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Although all mobile phone numbers now begin with 07, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
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 Okay. I just have to explain. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I can't remember what I was going to do now. Yeah. There is obviously, if the people in hell are, look, this again takes us back to this. How much, let me just explain how it works. Right. There is in fact nothing going on. Nothing is being kept from you. Nothing is going on secretly. And I'll tell you for why. It is at the same time more simple than that and more complicated. There is no point trying to keep a secret because it can't be done. It can't be done. What you do is, if the secret gets out, then you order a report into it.
A full report.
A full report, yeah. And by that time, everyone's forgotten about it, or they don't understand it. Okay. So all these theories, forget them. They're not going on. Does it not occur to you, if hell had been discovered, just think this through, will you? If hell had been discovered at a location, a well-known location somewhere in northern Russia, don't you think someone would have done something about it? Right? Someone with a mobile phone in the Greater Manchester area has heard about it. So don't you think it's possible that they've heard about it in the Kremlin? So think this through. We know where hell is, where souls are being tormented for all eternity, and it's down Well, we've actually got an Ordnance Survey reference number for it. And it's down that hole between those two rocks. That's hell down there, that is. Oh, right. So nobody knows about it, except 3 Siberian oil workers. And you in, I don't know, Horton Green.
Yeah.
Right.
That's as good as that.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of somewhere that was a little bit like Siberia. And that's the first name that sprang to mind. It wasn't bad.
Should we go?
Yeah, I would say so. Right. Oh, look, a punter's decided to ring. Thanks, pal.
Oh,
it's time to do, is it?
Nearly.
Nearly. Yeah, it's time to do this, and then it'll be the news and all this, that and the other, and then Sam Walker, and you know how it is.